the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Hey guys, this is Raka and welcome to the Streamer Reviews, where gaming streamers gonna review the best new gaming laptops in the market. And today we are looking at the Intel powered Asus ROG Zephyrus S17, a laptop which stands for its amazing multitasking capabilities. As a streamer, I need my system to stream, game, record all at the same time. Having tested it, I'm quite thrilled that this laptop can actually handle it. And if you're wondering how, it is all thanks to the 11th gen Intel Core i9 processor, which gives your laptop a desktop caliber performance. With 8 cores, 16 threads and Intel Turbo Boost Max technology 3.0, it is capable of running several tasks without worrying about bottlenecks. So multitasking also leads to some heating issues, but luckily the S17 has its active aerodynamic system plus, which improves the airflow and enables long hours of streaming while keeping it cool. While choosing for a laptop, I also look for fast connectivity options for my accessories such as Stream Deck and capture card. But thankfully, the S70's Intel Thunderbolt 4 is very sorted in this regard. This one port lets me connect to all my accessories easily thanks to its blazing fast bandwidth speed up to 40 Gbps. Overall, I think the Asus Zephyrus S17 is a great laptop for streamers, gamers, or anyone with the similar needs. So what are you waiting for? Bring yours home today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear presents Tec Gauntlet Season 4, powered by Crucial, Gaming Partner Intel, and Apparel Partner 656. It's been a long time since we've come back onto the desk over here at the Gauntlet, and me, along with CCV, the real one himself, we're bringing back to you the Valorant action of the highest order. How does it feel
Right.
to be back, CCV?
Oh, I mean, we've had a bit of a break here at the Gauntlet teams. They've been playing other tournaments and stuff, and it's been amazing. The growth we have seen in South Asian Valorant, it's really good. And now, all of us in the Gauntlet, both the groups, all of the teams as well, all 16 of the teams heading in, improved with their best versions, with their best foot forward as well. I think it sets up amazing matches, irrespective of which team we are going to be seeing, irrespective of who their opponents will be as well.
Yeah, that is true. And now that we are welcoming Intel as well as one of our partners, a gaming
Yes.
partner is Intel. As we all know, Intel delivers the best gaming value through the delivering the best overall gaming experience. Follow the hashtag Game with Intel. And with your upgrades that you get with not just Intel and Crucial, and of course your apparel as well with 656, everybody deserves a little bit of an upgrade. So go ahead, check out the description below, get the links for the websites, which will lead you to your next big upgrade. But for now, we've got a couple of matches on our hands today, ladies and gentlemen. And the first one being, which is going to kick things off, Orgless 5 against Team Arrow. It's been a while since we saw any of these players or any of these teams, in action. So I really do. I don't really know what to expect from either one of these teams. What do you think, CCV?
Orgless 5 Team Arrow, Orgless 5, earlier they used to be the EXO roster. Now, with the amount of roster changes that have been there, with the amount of stuff heading in and out of the team, the players are changing, the flow, the momentum, it puts into question where exactly do they stand. And a bit of the unfortunate thing is, this is a question we've all been asking ever since Season 4 of Gauntlet started. Ever since, right from their first matchup, we were thinking, how good are Orgless 5 right now? Where exactly is the team synergy? And unfortunately, because still the changes are happening, are taking place very recently as well, that question is still going to be bothering the squad alongside all the issues that may come with it. Like I mentioned, synergy, communication. If you're not bolted down with a 5-man roster, if your communication isn't on point, it can lead to mistakes. We have seen that time in, time out in all sorts of teams and all sorts of competitive natures of Valorant. On the other hand, you have Team Arrow from Pakistan, a team which we have seen perform, we have seen them win. But at the same time, their performances to an extent have been a bit cluster as well. Their match that they played, all the way back in January here, the Gauntlet, it was against God Particles, and they lost that best of 3 0-2. One of the maps, Ascent, they lost it 13-3. Now, arguably, yes, that does also mean that God Particles have been improving, but at the same time, I want to see Team Arrow in a new form with a new look and hopefully another win under their belt as well.
Well, there is a lot of pressure on both of these teams as they have come back
Yes.
after a while, and having to see them perform is going to be interesting because I'm excited for this. It's been a while since we saw both of these teams come on, or any of their players come on as well. Let's go to the MVP standings though, and let's see who is still maintaining their mantle position. And of course, it has to be
Ooh.
Paradox, who is right on top with 174 kills, an ACS of 258, followed up by Raw Fuel, 118 and 64 and 303 ACS with his KD ratio and his ACS Raw Fuel deservedly sitting on the second spot. And of course, we've got Shooter and Sami right behind them. Even though Raw Fuel's skills are far behind what these three have, he still got the firepower and the ACS to match it up to them. And of course, the MVPs as well. So no changes here whatsoever since the last time we saw them. None of these players are going to be playing today, but we do have a couple of hard hitters that we are going to be seeing on either one of these teams. Both of these
Yes.
teams qualifying for the first time, and the last season of the Gauntlet as well. Let's have a look at the teams themselves, shall we?
Yeah, seeing where they're standing against each other in their groups, I think that will give us a good reference as to how exactly they have been performing and what shall we expect from their side. So starting off, we have Group B right now, Orgless 5. I mean, yeah, they have had 2 losses, but at the same time, regardless of that, the 2 wins matter the most. They're still on par in the top 4. They can still qualify for the playoffs. That's what matters. They like to keep the momentum going regardless of the 2 losses, because if you look, at them, under them, all the teams, even they have 2 losses. So those 2 losses, it won't matter too much. You have the top 2 almost secured right there. They're going to be battling amongst themselves of this group. But it is about the
Indeed.
bottom 2 of, like the teams that will be qualifying for playoffs. Spot number 3 and seed number 4. Those are the seeds that will have a lot of contention for them. And the 2 teams contending against each other right now, well, it is the competition between them that will lead to a singular chance to go into the playoffs for the final time here, the Gauntlet, and secure a big prize for yourself. Yeah.
Indeed, I think that this is going to be an important match for both of them. I think they still have competition to face off in the days to come, which is going to be sparingly a little bit more difficult than what they are going to be seeing today. Both Orgless 5 and Team Arrow are going to be on a little bit of a similar plane. I think they are not in terms of differences between of skill between each other, but because it's been a while, we can't really judge until we get onto the battlefield. But let's go to the team intros and let's have a look at who we are seeing today on the battlefield. Starting off, we've got Orgless 5, got Vexy, Hacker, Sai, Blackhawk, and of course Wimp. This is a little bit of an interesting squad, given that Hacker has joined got Vexy here as well, with 3 players who were in the previous EXO lineup. And these guys are, I mean, on their own, on paper at least, this team looks pretty damn strong, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. We have seen these players perform like in different rosters individually. We know about their roles. Not all of them are going to be your sole frag out masters, but at the same time, the supportive roles as well. We know well and truly about the 5 members in front of our screens. We've seen them perform a lot of the times earlier in different iterations of their own rosters. But now together, yet again, universe, we have to ask the question, how good are they? Can they compete against teams of similar caliber who are also performing here, the Gauntlet? Is this going to be viable, or do these 5 members of Orgless 5 still need a bit more time to help, rectify any mistakes they have and to essentially rasterize their final core roster and essentially have everything in place? But still, the players themselves, they are ready. Speaking of the players, we will be shining the spotlight on one of them from the side of Orgless 5, and it is going to be none other than Wimp. Yeah, again, looking at the kills this man has had, maintaining a positive KD, his average combat score as well. He may not be an MVP always, but an average combat score of upwards of 200 as an initiator, having upwards of 170 kills as an initiator. Wimp can not only support his team, but when the need be, he gets the kills by himself as well.
Yeah, that is true. Wimp is an honest, honest and down to earth kind of a player who is the backbone of the team. He does not have, the flashy plays. He does not have the, the star showcase of, a jet, like how you dash up into the air and get those blade kills. No, he holds down the turret, uses a little bit of utility that gives damage that is seeded into the ground by being the killjoy or by being the Cypher. This man is one his team can depend upon in clutch situations, in situations where they need somebody to find a way into the site in terms of a retake when on defense, and of course, hold the team when they are attacking from the back lines being stabbed as well. Wimp is a great example for somebody who knows how to play multiple roles. We've seen him play the Initiator and the Sentinel as well. Today, he's probably going to be the one shining yet again.
Could be. There's a very strong chance of that happening as well. Alongside Wimp, all of the 4 members of Orgless 5 are going to be under the spotlight as well, because after all, Gauntlet has returned. So there will be a lot of viewers ready to see the action resume. And now we talk about the opposition of Orgless 5. Let's have a look at Team Arrow. Let's have a look at their roster, because it has been a while, universe, since we've seen these 5 members in front of our screens as well. You've got MSK, you've got I think the thing is, with all of these members, the fact that it has been so long since we have seen Team Arrow, like seeing them back, it's going to be quite interesting. I want to see them perform yet again. We've had so many major plays, but at the same time, this team can suffer from a bit of a slump as well. I have to bring our memories back to when they played against God Particles. Godchild, who is the Jet, who usually frags out, had like an average performance. Sometimes these members, they cannot perform. However, I sincerely hope this entire small break that they had has given them enough time to talk amongst themselves and to essentially go through whatever mistakes they had, because these guys, they haven't had any roster changes unlike their opponents. They haven't had a lot of players moving in and out of the squad. The squad has remained the same. It's just about how well they will be performing together. I think that is the
Have players who are consistently been performing in the past as well. And Arrow is a team that has recently risen up the ranks from Pakistan, and now they are competing at the SA level. And well, I hope that they're able to give as much competition as we would believe. I think that they're not that far away from the team that they're fighting off today. But I
yeah.
still think it's a 55-45 matter where the side of Orgless 5 have an upper hand in terms of not just team play. I would say individuality is also something that would come in over here. Protagonist, I know,
Yep.
is one. I watched him play before the break that we had, and Protagonist was actually pretty damn great in the way that he controls not just himself but the pace of his team's gameplay as well. And I would be looking
Yeah.
forward to how he moves around his team. Let's go to the spotlight though and have a look at who it is there, because for me, I think Protagonist would be the spotlight holder, but okay, it's going to be Godchild, who is the duelist of the team. And
Yeah.
his stats are not as good as the other Jets who we've seen already on the MVP standings, but he's got a positive KD ratio, which is a good thing. And he should be able to work his way at least a little bit closer towards the top four, because Rawfuel himself is not that far away, being on 118 kills, and this man is just 30 kills away from him, which he could, gather up in about 2 to 3 maps, depending on how many we play today.
Exactly. And the thing that he lacks in like kills as of now, I mean, hopefully, he can get more. Godchild, and in a way, the entirety of Arrow, they make up for it in versatility. Because we have seen Godchild not only be the Jet, but at times he can also take up the Raze. Not a lot of times have we seen that from primary Jets in the region. I mean, yeah, now we are seeing this surge where the main Jets, they are taking up other duelists as well. Of course, they're not going away from the duelist role. They're not changing that. But they're still taking up Raze. Even at times, the Reyna if the need be, but they are playing more of these dive agents. And Godchild, he has been doing that for some time. Even other members, for example, you were mentioning Protagonist, even he is the one who changes his archetype completely. I mean, in the best of 3 we have seen him play the Astra and then the Sova. He just changes his archetype and he can play any and all agents he wants to, and thus, like you said, Universe, controlling the pace of the game using his own utility. He won't be the person every single time on the kill feed if you look at his name, but if you look at his icon in that small little assist corner, he may just be there using his gravity wells, using his shock dots, using his owl drones to make sure that the opponents are incapacitated and then later entirely dead. But as of now, Team Arrow, we've built them up. Orgless 5, we talked about their roster as well. The maps, I'm really excited to see them on which ones, because after all, it is a best of 3. You are going to be playing for 3 maps. You need to get those down. Even if you lose the BO3, you can still get 1 point. And in a group as close as this, every single point matters. So let's have a look at the map, Veto, and let's go through the maps that we will be seeing right now.
Yep, and as you would expect, there is one safety net here, and I think that this is probably the most, a basic map pool that we would look at in any of Valorant's best of 3s: Ascent, Bind, and Haven. I think that this is like the big 3, or like I would say the basic 3, whatever you want to name it. But Ascent and Bind are probably the most played maps, and for Orgless 5 and Team Arrow to go for them is not that much of a surprise at all. I would have expected a split to be there for Orgless 5, because we know that,
Exactly.
Sai and Wimp and Blackhawk, them personally love playing on that map. And Godvexy himself too is a great Sky on the map of Split. But I think it might have just been banned by Arrow, knowing what they would have studied at least about a little bit about Orgless 5. And that's exactly why we're going to be starting off on the map of Ascent. And followed up by Bind, we are going to have it all end up on Haven. But whether or not we're going to be seeing that is a question yet to be answered by either team. But what I'm more interested in is now we're seeing that, I don't know if a lot of people are, doing this because they're finding the flaws. I mean, they're finding the good things about this agent right now. But I've seen a lot of surge in KO in literally almost every single map. Not just Breeze, not just Split, but I've seen KO being played on Ascent. as a secondary initiator. I've seen KO played on Bind multiple times, Haven everywhere, and not to forget that Sai, if he is playing KO on the map of Ascent, it is going to be a problem because he's played KO multiple times on the map of
That
Split,
is
and he's
true.
pretty good at that agent as well.
Mm-hmm. I'd say that, yeah, Orgless 5, for, they have a lot of things working for them on the map of Ascent. They've picked it. They know that Arrow, they may have certain weaknesses. I have been mentioning the last time, Team Arrow played against God Particles. They lost here pretty badly. So maybe Orgless 5 are thinking that, okay, whatever mistakes they made then, we can, just exploit those mistakes as much as possible here as well and hopefully squeeze out a win. But at the same time, another opportunity for the side of Orgless 5 has been shut down. That was going to be Icebox. Now, the last time we saw Orgless 5 playing was against Exili Esports, and back then, yes, Orgless 5 didn't end up losing the best of 3 overall, but they won the map of Icebox, an opportunity they do not have right now. So Arrow as well, they've also taken it smartly. We will be going to Bind, we will be going to Haven. We really haven't seen these two teams play this quite recently. A bit while ago in the earlier matches of season 4 were they seen, but now it's still up for debate what's going to happen, especially with the break that all 10 of these members and their following rosters have had to theorize and theory craft whatever they'd like.
Yeah, I think that, considering what we know Orgless 5 to be, we've seen especially their players, they are supposed to have the upper hand in both of these maps, I should believe. I think that Bind is another map where, especially when they were back when the squad was still in EXO. These three players,
Yes.
Sai, Blackhawk, and Wimp, they love playing on Bind, especially because I know that Wimp was like, he's like the defensive connoisseur on the B side of Bind. He's a staple over there. He does not let go of that side. It's like he doesn't even know the A side exists until there's a retake happening. And this man will have a good time on Bind, and I'm pretty sure about Blackhawk as well, given that he's been taking up, the controller roles as we all know he does. He plays the
Yeah.
Astra, he plays the Viper if need be. He's pretty much the controller in every sense of the way. And Sai, of course, he's the multi-talented guy. Plays a Jet, plays a Sova, plays a KO, plays a Sentinel if need be. He's played the Killjoy before, played the Sage as well. I don't know if there's a certain agent that he's not played yet in professional play. Maybe Cypher, but I think he's touched up upon most of him. I think I'm just waiting to see Sai on Neon, in a
Oh.
future tournament. That would be an interesting topic. But what are your thoughts about Neon, actually? Now that the agent has come out, it's been a while. And it's having a fairly good amount of effect in a lot of plays, at least in the higher ranks, I believe.
Well, you mentioned higher ranks. That is not my forte. My forte is down.
Let-
Oh, iron.
I mean,
Yeah,
okay. I mean,
but
what would you say about the agent? What would you say about the agent?
it is quite interesting. I think the dynamic created, that is the main element which allows Neon to just outshine the run and gun, that format alongside the ultimate, the tracking, which is not really present to a big extent here in Valorant. You mainly have flicking and you have, recoil control, spray patterns, but tracking isn't inherently there. And this has been the main talking point for Neon ever since she was introduced, ever since the trailer was released as well alongside the song. But yeah, that has got to be the big fact. And I think seeing her in professional play, the players, well, they've got to make sure, whenever they're training for their aim, they track really a lot and they inhibit those exercises as well and showcase them in their gameplay. As for probability of her being seen, not as much. I wouldn't say she's going to be a mainstream agent. Like kind of like Astra. Astra became mainstream, and she
Yeah.
now owns a big percentage of the market share of the controller market. She is the
Yep.
most picked agent as of now. That I don't think will be the case with Neon. I think Neon will be kind of like chamber-ish. Like she will be played, but only on certain maps or only preferably for certain players who would like to use Neon as an agent more than they'd like a Jet or Raze or anything.
I believe that I played Neon quite a couple of times now, and I think that the control on Neon is more about flexibility. I think
Yeah.
that this is an agent that well, while we were all complaining about running and gunning, Riot went ahead and made an agent saying, okay, we're going to remove running and gunning from one place, and we were all like, yay, okay, problem solved. And then there comes this woman blazing in between her two walls, and she's like, hi, I am run and gun, codenamed as Neon. So I really love it. I really love the agent, that there's an agent dedicated for running and gunning, but she also has her own flaws. I think that
Yeah.
with she's a very self-sufficient fragger. She's not a team player at all, given her wall especially, because I think that's a very important ability which allows Neon herself to create some sort of chaos. Which I personally have tried many times on Fracture. I think because I don't know, Riot just loves giving me Fracture again and again and again and again and
Been
again.
there.
Yeah.
Been
So
there.
I've just tried Neon over and over again, and I think that this is an agent that would play really well in a situation where there's a single duelist involved. I think that she could outdo Jet at times. I know that Jet is probably the most baseline agent apart from Astra, because as a duelist you would require somebody who's very self-sufficient fragger, right? Neon does not really have any smoke cover or such, but she does have that wall, and of course the
Yeah.
woman's the fastest agent in the game, right? So I think that her that combined with her ultimate, which I personally believe is more reliable for people who find it a little bit difficult to aim to the head, right? Who believe in spraying. I am a phantom user more because I cannot one tap with the vandal as much. So I believe in
Mhm.
in Neon's supremacy of just zapping everybody around. But yeah, I
Right.
think that this is going to be interesting. The day we see Neon in pro play, that's the day I'm going to believe that Valorant has truly evolved. But let's go to the agent selection. Too much about Neon now. Let's talk about the agents that are actually going to be selected in today's game. As we've
Yeah.
got the side of Orgless 5 already locking in 4. And like I said, that KO pick is coming in. And we've got Blackhawk play. Okay, that's interesting. Hacker is actually playing the Astra. And we've got Blackhawk now switching roles to what we would expect Side to play. But since he is on the mainstay duelist role here, this
Yeah.
is an interesting pick of agents.
That is true. I mean, the entire composition itself, double initiator, we've seen this so many times. Sova, KO, you've got Astra, you've got KG, you've got Jet. This is just pure Ascent right there. It's always a doubt of who's going to be the final initiator. At times, we can expect the Sky. In this case, it's going to be the KO. Nothing out of the ordinary right here. The only interesting point is going to be, yes, the players themselves are not playing the agents we know them to play, but that indicates to something has been going on behind the scenes here at Orgless 5. They have been theory crafting, they have been experimenting, and now they get to showcase that in a broadcasted match in front of a live audience against another team who is very much hungry for a win. Now, speaking of that team, Arrow, for now, MSK has, selected the KJ, and looking at their overall composition as well, we spot the Jet. I mean, it's Ascent, right? Teams
Mm-hmm.
are not going to experiment around. We are not going to see anything out of the ordinary. You can expect the baseline double initiators, double duelist. Most likely, it's going to be the Astra. Maybe you can expect a Cypher, but really not. KJ, Jet, Astra, at times even the Sova. I mean, they are here to stay. They are not moving away from this map. It is their home ground, and no one can take them away, and no one even wants to. The teams are fine with this meta. The teams are fine with these compositions, and we'll be fine enough to watch this fine gameplay in front of us as well that we will be heading into very, very shortly. I am
Yeah.
excited for this. Similar comps, players who are going to be on the mainstay after a long while. So seeing that take place right now, seeing the match take place finally, it does bring a lot of excitement, surely. Yes.
Yeah, it most certainly does. And unfortunately, one of the players got disconnected while the agent selection was going on. The Val error has come in, and we're going to have to restart the game. But that's okay. He'll be logging into his account pretty soon, and we will be going into the game. But we saw that there is a single duelist setup from one side, that is Orgless 5. And they were aiming at a double duelist setup, Team Arrow. It looked like it, at least because, after the entire selection was done, or at least the pre-selection where they hadn't really locked in their agents, we saw a chamber, we saw a Reina and a Jet being as
Mhm.
the agents that they were going to go for, unless they were going to choose something else in the end. But it's not that similar, because now we've got a KO and we've got a Killjoy going up against a chamber, which is going to be the only Sentinel over there. How do we see the comparison between those two lineups, given that we do have Orgless 5 on the attack first?
Interesting. I mean, yeah, thinking about that, KG Chamber, it is quite interesting. I mean, it is always a lot map specific as well. I think the one map That's always going to be there is Breeze. But for now, I think let's keep our eyes on Ascent. Let's get back into the agent selection screen, like you mentioned, Universe. We had a bit of an error. It has been resolved. Good thing. Very, very quickly. And now the teams are back up and running. Orgless 5, they won't be changing their roster. Or will they? No, Sai is back on the Jet. Yeah, it's going to be the same double initiator from their side. I want to see Arrow. And it's going to be Gothchild this time on the Chamber. Again, interesting stuff right here. The last time, I mean, we were talking about Gothchild. We were talking about how he essentially the entry fragger, but now that is not the case. Now it's entirely been changed, and this is exactly what you were talking about, the versatility that comes with the side of Team Arrow. It has caught all of us off guard as well, with them going for a double duelist setup and Godchild taking the Sentinel as of now. But yeah, KJ versus Chamber, it's going to be interesting. Having a look at the Orgless 5 members, all of them are ready. All of them are back in their seats. I mean, obviously they haven't left their seats this month. They have been practicing. They have been grinding. But now we can see them live as well, as we will be jumping in the game very shortly.
Yep. Now, the compositions between these two teams is what I'm very, very excited about, given that we've got, both these teams playing completely different, rosters. We've got a Killjoy going up against Chamber. We've got a KO in the mix. We don't have a Reyna on one side, we have a Reyna on the other, where it is a double initiator against a double duelist. So this is information against pure raw skill of the duelist aggression and aim. So we will find out how it goes down. So it's all going to be depending on Sai on the attack, because he is the one who has to capitalize upon the information that both his team Sova, that is God Vexy, and KO, that is Blackhawk, give him. Disabling the opponents as well as enabling their location to Sai does give him a little bit of a power play to be backed up by, because I think that Sai on the Jet is something that is really, really interesting to watch. We've seen him in his early days where he was playing the Jet. He was a very aggressive, outright duelist who did not care about his opponents, disrespected the smokes, and he got what he needed. But eventually he shifted on to other roles, played the Sova, played the KO, and now he's back at it. It's come full circle.
Yeah, we've even seen Sai to an extent playing the secondary duelist. Like, I still remember, I know you were talking about Bind as well. There was one map specifically in some other tournament back in 2021 where Sai dropped, I don't know, like 35, 40 kills or something. He had an insane performance playing Reyna on that map. So that was really interesting. Could be quite interesting seeing him back up on that, but I don't think that'll be the case on Bind. Now, Bind has shifted a lot. We have seen Astra Viper being played there as well. So many teams have picked up. Enigma started it. Other teams have been playing it more and more recently. We have other stuff going on that map as well. So double duelist, it's highly unlikely we'll be seeing that. I think as of now, double duelist will only be seen on this very map by Team Arrow. Even if we go to the decider map of Haven, I still believe that there we are going to be expecting, and we should be expecting, a double initiator like a Sova Breach, Sova Sky. All of those can work, but a double duelist, it is highly unlikely. Something along the lines of that will happen.
Yep. Now, we are ready. I think we are going to go into the match. Ladies and gentlemen, the first round after a long time in the Tec Gauntlet. And we are going straight in with that information that Blackhawk has got for them. There's going to be no teleports available, and Sai is going to be dashing in to try and find some kills for himself. MSK is on the side, and he's covered by both sides, and he's not going to be able to damage anybody. And he goes down all by himself. Protagonist coming on the backstab is going to find one. Goes down, so that's no more smokes available, but the plant has gone down, and the post-plant situation in a 4v4 has come up.
Exactly. And now all the members of Team Arrow, they are pushing in from market. They're coming in from defender spawn as well. They're going to be falling into the bomb side. All of them are grouped up. Orgless 5, all of them are in the bomb side. Gunfights are bound to happen any second now, with peaks happening left, right, and center. That presence, with the utility not being used, it's going to be a big benefit to the team with the KO on board. Shane, he peeks wide. He gets one shot. Now he's infiltrating into the bomb side. Can he get another? Yes, he does. So does Protagonist. And both of these duelists are on cleanup duty.
Oh, indeed. Just about enough time. Healthy defuse, a good retake round for the side of the defenders. Something that I did not quite expect. As soon as they rushed into the B side, I think that all of them being crippled up towards that back of side and in towards side was a little bit of a problem for the side of Orgless 5
Exactly.
because they had absolutely no avenues to work with. They couldn't distract the opponents. And the minute they realized this, Team Arrow, they just it was basically going 4 against 2, 4 against 1 fights, and there's no way that Orgless 5 could have won that. And it looks like because of the plant that they got, they're actually choosing to force in. And here's an aggressive push from Godchild.
In the previous round, Team Arrow did something absolutely correct, which was wait for everyone, and then they went for the retake as Godchild right now. He has been tagged. He's gonna get weak 1 HP. The force for now works as MSK also loses his life. Same angle, same person. That's Blackhawk striking twice, and now Vexy piling on the pressure even more. Team Arrow, this can be a major defeat for them, especially now with protagonist location known. Half of the team of Team Arrow, well, they only have 2 members alive, and Orgless, they know one of them is on the A-bomb side, so statistically the other should be on B. They are going to cover him from all angles. 2 entering from main, 2 entering from market. Can HZ get 1 kill? His presence has been detected. That's the run and gun right there from Blackhawk, leaving protagonist all alone. This can be a flawless force buy for O5.
Yep. It most certainly is going to be, I think, unless protagonist is going to be able to find God Vexy looking around towards their A-side. Oh, that turret was actually not going to detect him, but because he took it down, Wimp knows his location and he's been tagged down to 63 while Wimp goes down himself. And Sai, Sai, you gotta look under you, my friend. He somehow was trying to survive there, runs away, but Hacker's going to be able to take care of it. 2 weapons will go down. That's a little bit of an economical problem for the side of Orgless 5, but they're going to be okay with it. Not too much of a damage done because their opponents are given on an eco now.
That is the main thing. The fact that they still have the majority of their Spectres remaining and Wimp has gone off and bought another one means that Orgless 5 know this round should be theirs. It's the next round where they may struggle a bit with their economic deficit. As of now, Team Arrow, yes, they'll be the ones struggling, but they should look like a quick done and dusted round. I mean, 4 of the defensive members are right here on B main. You have that Reyna towards A short, and her presence is now known. And look at that, Orgless 5 members, they are packed off. Look at how far away they're playing from mid. Look at Blackhawk right now. He's holding these angles long. Godchild, he'll be good for 1. The spray. Blackhawk knows the Spectre has been nerfed. He's still gonna peek. He's still gonna get 1 almost. Meanwhile, protagonist goes off. Gets an excellent headshot right there. With that Blade Storm, he was looking for more, but Vexy denies him. Team Arrow maintaining pressure, especially with the spikes still towards attacker spawn.
Oh, look at Hacker's positioning though. They've got no idea that this man has creeped up from A shot. And with that, it is going to be the A side a little bit opened up. Not exactly though. There's still 1 player to worry about who is towards A main. While MSK is trying to distract Hacker here, he's gone down to little less than a breath of air in terms of health. 1 HP on this man. 1 star he's got. Shane will take out Hacker and will have a weapon to fight with. Fortunately, he can only heal himself, not his teammate. 2 versus 2. Wimp will get the plant down. And it's all on to God Vexy to find MSK's kill, which he will with pretty much effortlessly. And Shane, 1 versus 2. Spots out 1, gets that kill, but he will not be able to react in time. Find Wimp coming in from stairs. That is going to be a 2nd round for the side of Orgless 5.
Orgless 5, they do take the win, and like I was saying, I mean, this round should be something along the lines of an eco for them. I don't think they should be going in with a force ball, but they still are. We can spot a couple of rifles on their side, so interesting choice that they have gone for. Team Arrow, their economy is more for full buy. Meanwhile, right now, Wimp still has got the Spectre on the side of the attack. Interesting round economically with the force buy. They always shake things up, and you just get off course from the regular things you know about the economy of Valorant. Regardless, here's 1 gun. And here's 1 economic fact. The operator is very expensive. Losing that can be deadly. And that is exactly going to be Sai right now. Lethal for the side of protagonist and his off that have been dropped to the ground. Team Arrow down a man. Their primary entry fragger, their jet is gone. And alongside Sova, the side falls to the members of Orgless 5. Now, they should know better to not stick bomb side, but they're just getting kills left, right, and center. MSK with the first frag of this round for his team. Godchild with another, and this is still salvageable a little bit.
Oh, just as you say it, my friend. There's that ultimate from Killjoy. Wimp wants no corners given out to these people of Team Arrow. and they're going to be given away a couple more seconds while the bomb just keeps ticking down. And that tag is going to stop MSK from going up any further. And Hacker is comfortably sitting, waiting for his teammates to throw in all pieces of utility while he distracts them towards B main. Godchild will find him, but I think the time has gone far too much for them to retrieve this round into their hands. Godchild looking for anybody in any corner, gets another kill, looking for the fourth. God Bexy has no problem dying to the spike because he knows all he needs right now is the round. 3-1, and Orgless 5 are looking a little bit more comfortable, but that round could have gone a lot more better than it did actually.
Yeah, the kills just went in the favor of Orgless 5. I mean, the final retake had some weight to it, had some value to it, but prior to that, Orgless 5 were just pushing into the bomb site right from the first kill, which Sai got onto Protagonist. As soon as that operator dropped, I think the confidence of Team Arrow dropped with it because they realized that, oh no, you know, O5, they're already into the bomb site. HZ was backed up behind those triple boxes. He couldn't really do much in that instance as well. And once site was overtaken, you had more and more kills following through. 5 versus 2 scenario. And Orgless 5, in the end, they ended up securing it regardless. Now you have the operator, and you've got this double play right here with the Marshal, with the Sheriff, and with this retrieval, I think Team Arrow are in good hands for this round. But still, the attackers, they need a couple of kills. That's all they need. They need to find an opportunity to get into the bomb site. Now they have gotten into the bomb site, but what is their plan from this point forward? Because the spike is still at attacker spawn.
That is true. Blackhawk has taken control of the A side for the time being, though. He's got a little more resistance on Heaven, while Wimp is just being a menace towards mid, taking down 2 of his opponents. Godchild with the ultimate, the tour de force, is waiting for Wimp to come in for this. But Wimp is just so patient. He knows that he's going to be hunted, and that's exactly why he's just holding down this angle, waiting till the very last minute. And over there's Hacker just randomly spraying through bullets, and he gets one of his opponents down to 2 HP. HC Ice is absolutely in no condition to make this retake even attemptable, as Blackhawk waits for the door to be broken, breaks it himself. Flash will go in, blinds Godchild completely, and with the last man being Godchild himself, there's nothing that this weapon can do anymore except for get a couple of exit frags. 1 is going to be the number. That's it for the frags that he's going to get in this round, as Orgless 5 are looking grow as every round passes by.
I mean, they're doing so many things correctly. Almost every single round, they have planted the spike. Almost every single round, the expensive guns are getting retrieved. In this instance, as soon as the operator was dropped, I said the Team Arrow, this should be greatly beneficial to them. But then Orgless 5, they got it back for their team. And you can see happy faces right now on their members, as the side of Team Arrow have taken a tactical timeout. And I think we all can understand why they have made that decision, because they know they shouldn't be losing this badly on defense on a map such as Ascent. However, Orgless 5, they're winning those duels, and one way or another, they're getting side control. In this instance, it is just through sheer brute force. They are breaking into the bomb site. Whoever stands in their way, they are getting decimated. Doesn't matter if it's MSK, Gothchild, Protagonist, HZ or Shane, everyone just dies. And Team Arrow need to find a way to stop this. They need to find a way to not give entry frags to the members of Orgless 5. Late round kills, Team Arrow is still fine with them. We just saw, you know, the kill with the 2-day force. It could have been another kill as well. But it is during those executes that Team Arrow need to figure out a way to shut down these executions from Orgless 5. Because unlike the pistol round, now, as soon as Orgless 5 gets side control, it is very difficult to remove them. The retakes are not entirely working, with the exception of a couple kills here or there.
Yeah. And there is something that you need to keep in mind as well, which I will tell after this round, because, oh, Shane detected, unfortunately, but he will be able to recover to his position in market.
Yep.
There is a little bit of an aggressive play looking to be done here by the side of Team Arrow, but God Vexy is aware of this, and he's jump spotting them, telling Wimp not to peek. That's exactly why his turret is left out over there as well. Godchild. Good positioning, very good. A very good kill could come in over here. I'm losing my words, unfortunately. But look at Protagonist's position. He could be the protagonist for his team right here if he is able to find the kill onto Wimp, which is very likely, but he does. Oh! No! Wimp! And okay, Protagonist. Why? Okay. this is just a very weird round start to whatever's happening right now.
Start to mid round. I'm not really sure how to chronologically put exactly what's going on. MSK now behind this astral divide. He's going to spot Hacker, misses his shots a bit, but he still lands the kill regardless, and that's what matters, the frag. Because with only 30 seconds on board, the attackers have to scavenge and salvage their way through whatever they can find. It's going to be Sai pushing into the bomb side, looking to get the spike down. But he's got to wait. He's got to wait for his teammate. And HZ is right here. Full HP. He's got the Odin. He can spam through it. Sai's going to go for the plant. Now, what exactly is Vexy holding? He is towards Garden. He has been tagged. And now he moves away towards the electrical boxes as well. Too many angles to check. Good from the side of Team Arrow. They are going to be attacking from multiple fronts. There's the Leo. There's the Recon Bolt. A lot of utility being spent. But this still could diminish a lot. Because now the entire retake is right here from heaven. And that's what matters, because HZ is all alone. He goes to the Vandal. Beautiful shot, a 4k in total, and that one kill onto Astra from Sai. I think that is the round. Yeah, that is the moment that made the round, because exactly what I was propping up, the double-sided retake, Garden and Heaven, that just fell apart with that one kill, then the follow-through, and after that, it didn't even matter.
You know, the one thing though that Team Arrow should actually be worried about is that they are actually on defense right now. And they've got a double duelist, which is more efficient on attack, given that. But if you look at the lineup of what Orgless 5 is, they are literally a defense-heavy lineup. A KO, a Sova, a Killjoy. All agents that's going to be stopping you from coming anywhere. Yeah, exactly. Agents that are going to be just stopping you with just utility, not even their bullets, right? And that's what the problem is, because the minute they don't get their rounds sorted out in their defense, Team Arrow, they're going to have a very difficult time on the attack. And as of right now, it is getting a lot more deep into the, shadows for them, because Sai holding down the perfect angle, allowing his teammates to rotate around and find lurks in towards sites is just beautiful, beautiful play from the overall Orgless 5.
Look at that flash.
Amazing stuff. Both of them have been found out, and Blackhawk is just ready for this. They know that this round is theirs. They know that the subsequent half itself is theirs, because with this number 6 coming up, confidence is up to 100, and there's no way that Orgless 5 are going to be stopping at whatever they can, whatever's going to be coming in front of them. Sai with another 3k, and how do you stop a team like this?
It is very difficult, because Team Arrow, they're losing a lot of their manpower. I think the one trend we have noticed is that Arrow are focusing a lot on mid. People, at times we've seen 3 members in market, 1 member from A-Shot, usually it can be HZ, or even at times Shane is there with all sorts of weaponry, Sheriffs, Vandals, Phantoms, doesn't matter. But they're investing a lot on mid. And Orgless 5 have found a very nice way to counter this. What they do is, they send 1 player, usually a loco. In this previous round, if we look back at it, it was Wimp. While a lot was going on towards mid, while we were seeing all that action happen, Wimp slowly just went into B. Himself, as a KJ, he went into the B box and he was wait, protagonist? No, I'm sorry. Okay, MSK is still there for 1. Protagonist has got to evade that. He gets flashed. However, Blackhawk, I think he flashed himself, unfortunately. And now this has to be the great escape of the members of Team Arrow. Yes, they will escape. Shock dart goes through. But no, that is 1 casualty, and that's a big buck right there from the side of Orgless 5 that's gone. Sai is off the board, the top fragger, number 1, 4k, 3k, and with his op gone as well, it's going to be hurting Orgless 5 a lot with only a minute in this round. But look at this look from Wimp yet again.
Wimp is close up towards the B side, but he does know there is a trap towards the other side of the wall that he was just behind. Slowly walk in, gets detected by it, but he will destroy it. And here comes the ultimate from Blackhawk yet again. This is gonna disable anything and everything these guys want to do, and Godchild being spotted out, picks out his classic instead of a Vandal, and HCIs will get a trade back, win a second as well, looking for a third but gets away knowing that he's down to 6 HP. Got Vexy, a good trade coming in from him. It's a 2 versus 3, and Blackhawk wants to take the fights right now. A flash ready, pops it out, will blind 1, will take out 1 as well. And now in this 2v2 with health being very low, they don't care. They're going straight in and got Vexy. Nerves of steel on this man to make that clutch happen and that push happen with 30 HP.
I mean, yeah, that was just something else entirely. The fact, like you mentioned, the confidence to take those gunfights and Team Arrow just being cornered off. All 4 of the members alive were right here from defender spawn trying to enter. But guess what? They couldn't enter the bomb site. They couldn't go for the retake. They couldn't even attempt it because because Orgless 5 were just not allowing them to. The flash was there. Then came the peek from Vexy right towards the steps, the very, very close quarter combat, and he shined in the, excellent play. Now you've got Godchild. Oh, beautiful headshot right there.
Sai.
Just counter strafe headshot with that special sheriff, right? And that's 1 kill gone. However, well, Orgless 5, they themselves get a bit of concession for that. Both of the jets are off the board. That means, again, your duelists are gone. You've got to rely on your supportive players to get those kills. I mean, after looking the previous round, Orgless 5 have a lot of confidence in their supportive players. But nonetheless, Team Arrow getting information as well with that, utility being destroyed. Team Arrow, they know that it's going to be a B push. They're still peeking regardless with Sheriffs. It's an eco round for their side. And unfortunately, as of now, Orgless 5, they will be taking side control and they will be planting the spike.
Yeah, this looks most likely like an 8th round. 3 versus 4. An ultimate even available on the hands of Wimp, but he's not choosing to go for it in this one, knowing that they are on an eco. Opponents and Hacker sprays down 2. And that's the round done right there. Wimp, he's going to wait for the flash. He's going to go in for the kill. That's going to be number 8. And Team Arrow are being dominated right now.
They absolutely are. I mean, I have to ask this question. What is your prediction for the first half? Do you think 11-1? I'd say a 10-2. I'd say that, yeah, Team Arrow may have another opportunity right now to get another round. But honestly, a 10-2 is what it's looking like. It's not looking good, considering that they'll be on attack next against a composition that Orgless 5 already have. Chances are very thin. The margins are extremely thin as well for Arrow to etch out wins.
Exactly. They're pushing in towards A yet again. Child needs to be careful. Playing out in the smoke, that could mean his demise. But look at Protagonist. He doesn't care about women. A lot kept over there. He's going straight in. Drone that survived, that allowed him to survive for that long with information. But Wimp is aware of this and he is not going to let that push go any further. A recon that's going to pull Hacker a little bit out of the open. Sai will take down MSK. There's a dink that comes on the Protagonist, and here's Hacker taking down 1, taking down 2, blinded. And it looks like Orgless 5 are just going with the waves right now. And these waves are just flowing over the side of Team Arrow, and they've got no option but to just drown.
There is no resuscitation available for their side. There's no way for them to emerge out of this. Yeah, like you mentioned, they have a drown in Orgless 5. It's just a matter of how quickly can they put an end to this, because this is their map. They chose Ascent, they have one right here. The story on Bind, that will be interesting, as HZ with its favorite Odin will be good for one. The spam fire goes through. Now misses the shots. The recoil on that Odin. Absolute garbage. That's why no one should play. But regardless, Team Arrow, they have to try anything and everything on board. And if that means to buy the Odin, well, sure, they have to give that a go as well. Because now we head on over to the penultimate round of the first half. Orgless 5 have been on a winning streak for 9 consecutive rounds. And it doesn't look like it will be ending anytime soon. In this round as well, the ult economy, well, it is there for both of the for both of the teams, as a matter of fact. So many members have got their ults ready. How exactly are they going to utilize it? Because I say for the side of Team Arrow, especially Shane, someone who has been fragging, he may just have to go for the Empress. Protagonist has already got his Blade Storm. Sai!
Oh, Sai. His tracking was perfect. Protagonist comes back with 1, but he's immediately traded back. Hacker going in for the classic kill. He will find it. MSK is having the best of days right now, losing to his opponent, Astra, as HCI is left all alone. And he's been spotted out and he's been killed as well. 10-1 here, CCV. How do you make a comeback from this happen? Because this looks like it might just be 11-1 with the way that the side of Orgless 5 are playing. It almost looks like they don't really have a set strategy. It's just going by the flow of it. And the flow just seems to be working for them throughout the entire half. It's washed over the side of Team Arrow. And now that they will be going on the defense with such a big advantage, how do you even come back from this?
You try your best, but like I said, I think this match as of now, okay, maybe the second half lays something else, but as the first half has been going, Shane pushing through as well, not finding a single kill even with the Empress, and now Gothchild being, you know, rotating and just being essentially shown away. His information has been given, and now Sai is also pushing through. I mean, just look at the pressure being created by Orgless 5. The gravity well working as well. He had to use his rendezvous, but Sai still gets the kill. He's looking for another. However, one jet denies denies the other one. It's not going to be the operator, rather the Vandal that gets the kill, and now Blackhawk's there. Ready with the flash. The pop flash goes in. Protagonist gets flash. He's gone. 21 bullets. The Odin won't shine this time. It is going to be the Vandal with 25 minutes magazine as of now. 12.
Wait, why? Wait, what did he not realize? No way. He's gonna. Oh man, straight to the head. Wimp. Dude, that. Okay, I really need to know. I know he got 2 kills, but he did know that the Killjoy ultimate was still running, right? I mean, it's on his screen. I don't know. How is he? Okay, I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, universe. Even I forgot about that.
It's just a bad day for MSK, man. He got 2 good kills, and he's like, okay, maybe I can clutch out the sound. But then comes that unfortunate Killjoy ultimate that just, well, makes him completely plus. And a timeout at this stage, I mean, I think that they could have used this timeout a lot more before. I think Godspeed, the coach of Arrow, could have called this a lot more before. I think around maybe the 6-1 or 7-1 mark. I think that's where it would have been necessary for them to win maybe another buy round or maybe 2 at least. Bring it to a 9-3, if not let it go any further. But yeah, this is a little bit unfortunate for them that they have been downed so bad, and 1 pistol round is probably going to make the difference right now.
I mean, is it just about the pistol? Because unfortunately, you know, so the side of Team Arrow, the thing was they won the pistol in half number 1. But again, following, as soon as the force buy happened for the side of Orgless 5, that was that. Nothing else. Orgless 5 just could not be stopped. So it's not just a pistol, it's got to be every single round. And at this point, if I was in Team Arrow, I'd be thinking more about Bind and what can be done there, not about Ascent, because Ascent, it's just a book that it's just about to be closed, but everyone knows it's finished. Everyone knows the chapter's about to end sooner rather than later. So instead of that, Bind can be a prospect for Team Arrow, because even if, you know, things aren't looking the best here, even if overall in the best of 3 Team Arrow may lose, if they can get that 1 point by winning the map of Bind, that can be so much more better for them. As here's a full-on A execute. We already have trades going back and forth, but the crossfire being maintained from the members of Orgless 5. Look at that. Left and right. However, HZ, before going off, he gets a double, and this is brilliant rotation right here. However, okay, you know, the members of Orgless 5, they know about this. Vexy realizes, and Wimp also gives him information that members are moving away from the A bomb side. Stay on B, do not rotate, and he is going to play an aggressive angle. He is going to just, you know, get one, fall back. No, he doesn't fall back. He's ready with the shock dart. 7 HP on HZ. Wimp also gets one on the other side of the map. And what just happened to Team Arrow? They just lost 3 gunfights without a single one being won.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, because the minute HZIs got those 2 kills, I think that they could have pushed on to Wimp, but knowing that Wimp still has his utility on the side, it was a good option to rotate. But they should have stuck together. Knowing that Wimp is on A, they could have taken a 1v3 fight against God Vexy, and even if he had taken out 1, they would be able to find his kill, and that would have been a 2v1, right? They should have just let HZIs go in and be the bait, because he was on 7 HP. But because they played it that 1v1, yet again, it is going to be the side of Orgless 5 in the advantageous position to finish this map of 13-1. HZIs will get 1 kill before anything else happens, though, as Orgless 5 are down a man. But this is do or die, so they have to invest whatever they can. And that's exactly why we see a couple of sheriffs, half armors, no armors, stingers, and Godchild. He's making that sheriff sing. And side of Orgless 5, they're slightly getting nervous. 3 versus 5 now. All that Team Arrow need to do right now is rush together as a 5-man unit. Do not give 1v1s. Because
they will be up against the Spectre and the Ares. Yeah, that is the thing. Yeah, Orgless 5, they are great at isolating the gunfights like you were about to say, but Gothchild Well, if there's anything he's isolating, he's more and more kills for himself. There's now the spike has been dropped for Vexy.
my
He's going to be holding the
God.
status angle, but not for long. He won't be living for long. It's going to be a quick kill for Gothchild. Eats the ice with another, and this was just a sheriff round right here, using both of his shock. That's quite interesting, HZ. But nonetheless, all right, Orgless 5, they've realized that, okay, we can't just peek any and all angles. And it is the side of the defense who will be in a bit of a weird spot economically now, because they didn't get a lot of kills in the previous round. Now as well, only, the Marshal on Sai, and you've got upgraded pistols. A couple of kills is exactly what the defense should be looking for. Try and retrieve one, maybe two of those Spectres. Save them for the next round. There is no need to clutch out this map right now. It's fine if it goes to 13-3 or whatever. It's fine if the side of Arrow get another round as well. It won't matter too much. What needs to happen is Orgless 5 do not get reckless. They do not get overconfident and just keep on giving away rounds.
Yeah, I think that, the only thing that they need to worry about right now, Orgless 5, is them being a little too over pushy, because that's what they've been doing for the majority of this map, and that's given them success. No discredit to them. But it's points like these where you suddenly give away 4-5 rounds, and you're like, a game that should have finished 13-2 or 13-1 goes up to 13-7 or 13-8, right? And that's exactly what you don't want. I know it's about the win. It's about getting the 13 whether it's 13 to whether you win by a mile or win by an inch. A win is a win, as Vin Diesel would say. But there's no families here.
Right, it's just teams.
Enemies.
I mean, those also, yeah. Right here, what we have, again, are two teams of, well, enemies, as you would like to call them. They are up against each other, and honestly, for me, even in my head, I'm just thinking about Bind right now, because Ascent still, like I said, one way or another, it's gonna be over. Team Arrow, it's good that they've gotten this round. It shows with these Sheriff kills as well that they have the individual potential. But just as the roster, too much has happened, and yeah, they're in a pretty weird spot as of now. Same goes for Orgless 5, but Orgless 5, I think this should be their final iteration of the roster, and they should be looking to improve with this. So the future matches that will be there of Orgless 5 here, the Gauntlet, maybe if they can keep that number 3, number 4 position here in Group B, go on over to the playoffs, perform against teams of the other group as well, and get good rewards there, then it can be, they can get back to the former glory they once had of the EXO roster, and they can get back on the level, because they used to be the best teams. And the players, they're still of the same caliber, but just, that's the thing, as a roster, they've had a bit of a tumble, and they need to regrow. They need to, essentially climb back up the ladder, as many other teams here in South Asia have been doing. In the Gauntlet, we have, Enigma. I mean, look at the performances they've been having. You have Reckoning, you've got God Particles, all of these rosters as well. Like, they've improved. Orgless 5 have an excellent chance of doing that as well, because of the sheer experience that these 5 members carry within themselves and together.
Yeah. Now, the only thing that the side of Team Arrow can do is, I'm not quite sure about hoping for a comeback at this stage, because winning 10 rounds in a row is something that I wouldn't, necessarily say that is, the brightest of prospects, right?
True.
So try to win as much as you can to build yourself some confidence. And I would say focus more on Bind, because this is, like you said, already a closed chapter in this book, right? And Bind is their choice as well. So they should have more confidence going into that map. And being able to replicate what you did in the last round is what you need to be looking at. Sai going to take a fight towards A shot. Wimp has taken a protagonist pushing in towards A main. And okay, Wimp at that range with a frenzy absolutely demolishes his opponents. MSK will get God Vexy. Blackhawk with another trade down to a 2v2. This was never supposed to happen. Sai spots ahead, but he will take nothing out from the opponents. That's going to be another round. 12-3, but the deed of damage has been done.
It has, 3 members of the side of Team Arrow dying. I mean, the Vandal is still there. That is the good thing. But at the same time, you're losing 3 Spectres. You're losing 3 of your SMGs. that is going to be a big blow to the economy. And yeah, granted, the economy of Team Arrow, nothing much can be said because every single round for them is do or die. If they lose even a single round, they're out of the match. They don't have to think about ecos. Every single round is just force by. But now they have a good economy. They've got 4 rifles on board. They have a good shot of winning, but with the Odin and with the Odin spam, there is Vexy ready. The shock dart as well, tagging a bunch of the members. He's ready for another one. Blackhawk holding a very wide angle. Protagonist is right there. Orgless 5. For now, they seem to have everything on lockdown. For now, they're not allowing the members of Team Arrow to push into the bomb side. Blackhawk has got to survive because he's the only member inside. God, Vexy is dead. Here's still the KO. He'll be good for 1. He throws his fragment out. Hacker is there. There's enough time for rotations. Protagonist now in the bomb site, and his teammates helping him out means that Team Arrow are now a bit disoriented, but they still have side control. They still have the Odin.
Oh, perfectly done. Shane gets a good angle, and Hacker will...
Whoa!
Oh, no. He misses his initial shots. The Bulldog will not work according to his favor, and that's another round for the side of Team Arrow. Slowly building up momentum, winning 3 in a row, and putting the opponents on an eco yet again. The side of Orgless 5 are not really feeling it that much on the defensive half after winning the pistol. It's okay, they've got a very, very healthy lead. All they need is 1 round, and we've seen them multiple times pull it off swiftly as well. This could be it. 4 Sheriffs, 1 Marshal yet again. They have an ample amount of time to win this, but they don't go too far. It's the only problem. Protagonist, yet again, moving towards the A main. All 5 of their members here. And there's the dash. Wimp, all alone, gets taken out. And Sai, random sprays with the Marshal across the smoke, is going to wield him 1 kill. And that's all it's going to be. Gotcha, the protagonist, takes 2 back again. And in this 2v4, I don't see Orgless 5 doing anything. All they need to wait for is the next round.
He may look for an exit frat. I mean, Vexy, if he can score a rifle right here, Vandal the Phantom, that can be pretty interesting. But with this dual peak, Vexy can't really do much. Yeah, good stuff right there. Team Arrow, another great round. In this case, they were aware of Wimp. I mean, that was the main thing. Wimp was yet again in the same corner. This time, not with the Frenzy, not with the Classic, but with that Sheriff. And Team Arrow knew to look out for it. That was the good thing, because had Wimp gotten another kill from the same place, I'd have been like, Team Arrow, you really have to remember your corners where opposition is playing. But good stuff for them. Good execute. There was a gun disparity. Team Arrow used it to their advantage. Not a lot of casualties apart from that Marshal kill right there. But regardless, the ultimates are going to play a big factor right now. 12-5. And now Vexy is right there with the Odin. He can spam whenever he wants to. He will. He will start off the spam. Gotcha gets tagged just the slightest bit. Still has majority of his HP through as protagonist. Pushes in to the bomb side. What exactly is happening? He is all alone for now. He is pushing through. And he gets 1. But Wimp drops the spike. Drops 3 bodies before going down. Excellent stuff from that very close quarter corner. Wimp cannot be stopped. And Gothchild from behind. These lurk plays are bleeding Orgless 5 from time to time.
Yeah, but Sai, he's gonna be the main person here to settle this game for his team, and he might just have done it. Even though HZ Eyes has an ultimate, he's got a recon coming up in a second. He's got a spike on him. He's got one very big problem ahead of him, and that's Sai with a couple of blades and an operator. And even, not to mention, we still have Blackhawk on the other side. This is a 2v1 that is a very, very difficult task for Ice. And he's constantly... Okay, it looks like he's...
He can catch Sai off guard.
What is he doing? He's playing Pac-Man. Okay, okay. That's a little bit dangerous. Ice, you gotta be careful. Sai has run away from here. He's coming in, and this is definitely heard by Ice, as the plant will go down. And here's the VT coming in.
Oh my
boy. Oh boy, that's a little too close for comfort. Sai! He goes in for the clutch, but it's gonna be Blackhawk to win it all. There it is. It is GG indeed. Being said in the chat as 13-5. It is the side of Orgless 5. A little late victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Absolutely, yeah. They started messing a bit towards the second half, but that's still fine because of the buffer period, the intense buffer period that they had built in the first half. 11-1. That just meant that they had so much more time to allow themselves to get just a couple more rounds on board, and that's exactly what happened. Team Arrow, they tried their best. They got those maps under control. They got those rounds under control, sorry. It just wasn't enough. The repercussions of the first half were haunting them. The consequences of losing 11-1 were just haunting them through and through. And that just affected the entirety of Ascent. Now, moving on over to Bind as well, the members of Arrow, they know they have a lot up against. If they lose that map, that's it. The entire best of three is done. 0-2, they won't be getting a single point. That is why Bind has to be a do or die, regardless of what happens on Haven.
Indeed, we are going to be seeing the highlights coming in though before we buy
Yeah.
because this has been, at least the first half has been everything that Orgless 5 is. The first half was in the name of Orgless 5 from start to finish. 11-1 they got this. Not a single round apart from the first one that went away to Arrow. That was it. The first pistol won by Arrow. And since then, it was Orgless 5, Orgless 5, Orgless 5. That's it. And what a domination this has been. And it's not even that, in rounds like these where they know that they're going to be taking 1v1s, the fact that Orgless 5's players was so confident of themselves. That is what I love the most. Because they were not afraid to take the fights, and neither was the side of Team Arrow. But you could see that they were a little bit hesitant at times. And their 1v1s were not exactly something that happened at, the best case scenarios. Now, situations like these, where Shane, he saw the player being revealed on one side of the generator, right? But he also had a call given out from his teammate, which I hope he had been, that Sai is sitting on the other side of Heaven, right under Heaven. And Shane literally walks out to, not caring about Sai, tries to go and kill God Vexy, which I believe is one of the many mistakes that Team Arrow did, which was just something that's very basic that they could have, rectified.
True. Yeah, there was a lot going on. Even the gunfights. I mean, look at this instance as well. I get it. It was just upgraded pistols, but peeking like in the same line of fire of each other as well. All four members coming in from the same place that is defenders spawn just allowed Orgless 5 to pick up easy kills that later turned into a big man advantage for their side. And that later on just ended up helping them so much more. And then we had the half coming in like this. I mean, yeah. Like I said, even I didn't spot that Killjoy lockdown. I just ignored it because of all that was happening on screen with the gunfire, with the people dying. But regardless of that, Team Arrow, they started off the second half not in the best manner. I mean, yeah, Orgless 5 being on match point just meant that, Team Arrow, they quite literally had their backs up against the wall. But that is where they started building a little bit of momentum, thanks to the kills that they were garnering. I mean, look at these shots from Gothchild. That was one right there. He'll be looking for another. He peeks. Beautiful headshot. Doesn't even lose a single bit of his health point right there. Not even one. Still on 150 armor. And after that, Orgless 5, they lost another. And Arrow were looking good. But as soon as the ultimates came into play, as soon as Orgless 5 in entirety got their hands on better weaponry, I'm not just talking about marshals, not just talking about upgraded pistols, but rather rifles, Vandals, Phantoms. As soon as the members of Orgless 5 got those rifles, that is when they started winning, and that is when they won the final round as well.
Yep. Team Arrow, they did their best, but it wasn't enough to push them over the line, not even towards the half mark. And they literally did everything that they could. I do believe that they did everything that they could. But, going back and forth, you would expect them to be a little bit more competitive, given that you were just had a couple of rounds in a row, you had them come in for sure, but that should have come in the first half itself, where you just gave away 11-1. Now, that is a bad precedent for what's probably going to be coming in Bind, because this team of Orgless 5 is pretty great on Bind as well. They're going to be having no problem that, Split got banned out and Bind is now in, the map pool, because there is going to be a lot more of this team coming in. Orgless 5 are not going to be slowing down. They're looking for those 2 points and without giving anything away as well. Let's see whether or not this series comeback can happen from the side of Team Arrow, or are we going to be seeing Orgless 5 do anything? We will be back with the LG Ultragear presents TC Gauntlet Season 4 powered by Crucial, Gaming Partner Intel, and Apparel Partner 656.
From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered for speed and stability. Crucial Ballistics.
Hi guys, this is Zaya and welcome to Streamer Reviews, where gaming streamers review the best new gaming laptops. Gamers are an impatient bunch and I've got a laptop just for you. Let's look at the top 3 reasons why the Acer Helios 300 is perfect for the impatient gamer. Number 1. Its 11th Gen Intel Core i7 processor, which brings out the potential of the GPU's high-speed GDDR6 memory to ensure faster experience with higher frame rates and lower latency. Gamers hate long load times. That's why our second reason is the Helios 300's 2TB PCIe SSD. The SSD operates at PCIe Gen 4 speeds, giving you incredible read-write speeds for a faster response time. If all this wasn't enough, check out reason number 3. The 5th Gen Aeroblade 3D technology plus Vortex Flow, which lets you say goodbye to heating issues. Shout out to the Predator Sense dashboard, which lets you monitor your system, overclock, and customize everything instantly from one place. I think it's clear that this system is geared for super fast results. Get your Acer Helios 300 powered by 11th Gen Intel Core processor now.
from the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial ballistics.
Hey guys, I'm Ankita. Welcome to Streamer Reviews, the place where you can watch gamers review the best new gaming laptops in the market. Gamers love exploring the vivid detailing of their favorite games. This demands a system that can support their immersive experience. So, we'll be checking out the Intel-powered Lenovo Legion 5, a laptop with features that let you dive into the exciting world of gaming. One of the most important aspects of the Lenovo Legion 5 is its 11th Gen Intel Core i7 processor, with a base clock speed of 2.3 GHz up to 4.6 GHz turbo. It flaunts 8 cores, 16 threads and 24 MB cache. The Legion 5 lets you untether your gaming experience with Intel Wi-Fi 6, ensuring you can enjoy your favorite games wherever you like. Play on the go with up to 75% less latency. The Lenovo Legion AI engine optimizes performance automatically to any of the top 16 AAA games you're playing, with auto detection dynamically allocating CPU and GPU usage accordingly to get up to 15% more FPS. Speaking of senses, there's another sense that's also important for an immersive experience: sound. Thankfully, the Legion 5 has this covered as well. A pair of stereo speakers enabled with dynamic audio gives you an immersive 3D audio experience. Why wait? Get your own Lenovo Legion 5 and dive into the world of gaming today.
Welcome back, everyone, to LG Ultragear presents the Esports Club Gauntlet Season 4, powered by Crucial with our gaming partner Intel and our apparel partner 656. We are right here. We are starting off with the best of threes. The group stages are still going on. All of these teams in full force, trying, garnering as many points as possible to get into the top 4 of their respective groups and go into the playoffs. Now, speaking of these teams, already universe, we have had the first map of the initial best of 3 today. It was, Team Arrow up against Orgless 5. Orgless 5, they chose their own map Ascent as map number 1 and they took the win 13-5. What are your thoughts about that?
I think that this is something that we expected from Orgless 5. I thought that it would be a little bit of a closer matchup between these two. I think that, Team Arrow had a lot more to give, but unfortunately they couldn't stand up on their feet as we would have expected them to. and this is a result that Orgless 5 will take very, very
True.
happily. And now
Mm-hmm.
we are going to bind, which is a map again, which I will reiterate that it's not just a Team Arrow map; it is an Orgless 5 map as well. So this hopefully is going to be a lot more competitive. This is going to be a lot more first half spread out across both the sides of the table, and it is going to be a closer lineup towards the end of maybe 13-10, 13-11. Whether or
Could
not it's
be.
going to be a 2-0, I'm leaning towards it. I would say that it's a 70-30 chance at this point, but it's up to the side of Team Arrow to show whether or not they can, be worth their metal on the map
Yep.
of Bind, which they themselves have chosen. And speaking about Team Arrow in particular, I think that if they are continuing to go for the double duelist setup and they are on attack, they should be able to at least secure the half 7-5, if not be on the other end of that same scoreline. And I don't think it should go any further than that, because if it goes 8-4 with them on the receiving end of it, it's going to be trouble. If they
Mm-hmm.
find, if they're on 8-4 on the upper end of it, well and good for them. But I believe that if Orgless 5 are on even on the lower end of the scoreline during the halftime, they can still make it back. But I don't think I can necessarily say the same for Team Arrow.
That is true. I mean, the compositions are going to be a big factor in what's going to happen. And then, after all, you have the player performances as well. To an extent, for Team Arrow, their performances weren't the best. You had someone like MSK who was struggling. Now, hopefully, in this small little break that both of the teams have had, that all 10 of the members have had in between the two maps, the break that we just had, the players have, refreshed their mind, made sure that they are all ready for map number 2, and that they are essentially in a new state of mind and still not lagging behind, thinking about what happened on Ascent. You've got to start from level 0. You've got to start from square one. Other than that, if you're still thinking about Ascent, especially if you're someone from Team Arrow and you're still thinking about the loss, it's only going to affect you even more negatively heading on over to bind. So that's why I want to see the players taking a fresh approach. I really want to see some other composition. We have been talking about double controller, we have been talking about Astra Viper. Many teams, not just in South Asia but all over the world, in all sorts of tiers of Valorant, do prefer that composition and have started playing it, especially on a map such as bind. But at the same time, you can absolutely play double duelist. Raze is going to be picked, and that leads to the next question: who exactly is going to be playing the Raze? Because I think I can make a fair assumption that from the side of Team Arrow, it's probably going to be Gothchild who will be taking up that role, since we have seen him play Raze on a map such as Split or other instances. So he can play the Raze. But for the side of Orgless 5, is it going to be Sai back up on the Raze? Will he be taking up the duelist role yet again, or does someone else fill in those shoes for him?
Well, we're going to have to find out how exactly the lineup is going to fare out. That
Yeah.
one of the most picked agents on this map, especially because, well, the Raze is built for this map. You can see that the grenade usage, covering of corners, especially with the boombot and the ultimate itself. This is a Raze map, far and far out, with the way that you can just launch off of things, satchel away. We'll see how. I don't know who exactly might play it on the side of Team Orgless 5. I don't
Exactly.
think they might play it unless Sai decides to go for it, but it's still, the question in the air that we will see in just about a bit to be answered, as the players are loading up to the server, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be going in for sure in just a couple of minutes. But the one thing that we do need to understand is that if Team Arrow lose this, they're going to be in very, very, very deep waters over here, and the qualification to the playoffs is probably going to be going way further away from them than they would expect it to be. What do you think that they need to do here, CCV? How can they turn this around to get at least 1 point?
I mean, this is the last shot they have. If they lose here, there won't be any haven. We won't be going there. That's the one thing. I said this in Ascent. Both of us have been talking about this. Even if overall in the best of 3, Team Arrow cannot etch out a win, it is looking a bit bleak for them. The fact that they need to win bind, because like we mentioned when we were looking at the group standings earlier on in the pre-match presentation before Ascent as well, we saw that the side of Orgless 5, because they already have 2 wins under their belt, and this is going to be another point at the very least for them, they are slowly but surely securing their spot in the top 4. The top 2 teams in Group B, absolutely, I mean, they're gone through. No one can stop them right now. But there are 2 more spots remaining for the playoffs. And after all, in the final season of the Gauntlet, you have to play for the playoffs. This is the final chance you have. So keeping that in mind, Team Arrow, they've got to win this. As to answer your question, how exactly? In my eyes, it's always, yes, utility usage matters on a map like Bind as well. Close quarter map, you have to really, find cheeky little ways to etch out your opponents, those from those pesky corners. You mentioned the rays, the paint shells, the boombot. All of that does help, in that anti-entrenchment utility. Someone like a breach can help as well. But at the same time, you've got to get those skills. That is the one big differential we missed. And in most of the members of Team Arrow missed back in map number 1 is that the kills majorly were going in favor of Orgless 5, with the exception of a couple rounds here or there. Orgless 5 were quite literally walking into the bomb site, getting those frags, planting the spike, and in the post plant they got more and more kills for their side as well. Plain and simple, nothing much. Utility was a secondary factor right there. That is something that we have to avoid, and the members of Team Arrow have to avoid more specifically.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be a very difficult one for the side of Team Arrow. They need to play this a little carefully. Let's go to the agent selection though and see whether or not they're going to be sticking to the double duelist setup, or are we going to see this move up and down? While Sai and Blackhawk keep flirting with us with the Neon, which is not going to happen, we're going to see HC Ice trying to maybe go for that raise. Hacker himself is looking like he wants to play Neon. I think they want to just break everything. Blackhawk, okay, Yoru. Very, I would love for them to lock it all in. Wimp, okay, he's locked in a chamber. That is interesting. Yeah. I would expect him to play a Killjoy, but it looks like... I actually, I'm a little confused about this pickup, because chamber on Bind, I'm not necessarily convinced by it, because I think that Killjoy has a lot more weightage in terms of, a Sentinel on Bind than Chamber does. I think Chamber's pretty good on Ascent. That's for sure. I think that he does a good job even on Breeze and other maps, but on Bind, especially when you might have a raise in the opponent, inventory is something that could be a problem. Okay, Sai, he is going in for the race. Now this is showing off himself as the multi-talented, multi-agent playing player who can do anything and everything under the sky of Valorant. As on the other side of things, we've got a Raze and Reina double duelist coming in, a breach in the composition as well. I'm loving this. This is gonna be good, as we've got both Sky and Breach on the map, and yeah, this is going to be good, and you can see it. Orgless 5, all smiles across the board. They're ready for
Absolutely, they are ready for this. The members of Orgless 5, they know that they are in the advantage right now. They know that with the map, the confidence will absolutely be soaring through in the entire roster.
Indeed. Now we head into the match in just a couple of seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Orgless 5 in the driving seat right now. This is their game to lose. All they gotta do is just be just as good, play just as much of as a team as they did in the first half of the first map. And Team Arrow, well, the only thing that they gotta focus on right now is rushing together wherever they go, having set strategies with the execution of at least 2 to 3 members together, and not giving away the 1v1s to players like Sai or Wimp, who have been on roll in the last map.
Absolutely, yeah. Those multi-kill rounds the members of Orgless 5 end up getting for their team and for themselves were a major help, because those multi-kills effectively were just round wins right here. 3Ks, 4Ks that Sai got with all sorts of weaponry meant that those were just extra rounds, being cash flow positive in the arsenal. On the side of Orgless 5 is already, well, this is going to be a bit negative for their side. They lose the first person, got Vexy! Oh, what happened right there? Protagonist really be good for that 1 kill, but yeah, that was something else, Universe.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, he's covering up for his teammates from elbow as to the side, and Hacker with just 10 HP waiting on the backstab to come in from Sai, who's on a rotate of around the world. MSK almost caught in the gravity well, is gonna get away, and there's Sai with one. He's got a grenade to work with, and he's gonna throw it into MSK's face. It's gonna force him off, it's gonna kill him off, and the last one is HCI's on the backstab, 20 HP on him, got a grenade on himself, but Hacker with the 4K is gonna confirm round number 1 for the defenders.
Exactly what we were talking about in terms of, you know, all of the just the multi-kill rounds as well, and Hacker getting a lot of those kills, building up his ultimate already means that, you know, just a couple of kills more and he can have that just ult ready to go. And I think that is going to matter a lot, especially, yeah, like we've been talking about, close quarter combat. Hunter's Fury can be extremely lethal if used correctly towards hookah, towards the mid that leads to hookah, even showers on A. You use the Hunter's Fury correctly as a defender to slow down the attackers, to get information to damage the attackers, you inherently damage any and all hopes of an execute that Team Arrow may be planning to do. As right now they are planning to go onto the A bomb site. No one towards showers. Everyone's right here. There goes the Spectre with the satchels as well from HC, but it will be unsuccessful. The boombot's been destroyed. Sai, he just wide peeks. He gets one kill. The pain shells will be thrown. He may lose his life, but he gets enough damage in revenge. And Blackhawk as well. He's there to reinforce those kills even more. Good for another. Hacker now. He's there. Wimp, a bit unfortunate. And now the thing is, Team Arrow are playing together, but they won't expect Hacker to also peek from U-Halls where Wimp was just there. And that allows us over to get another kill. 5 on board for him. Could be his 6th. He has been healed, unlike the opposition.
Oh, there it is. Godchild gonna run away towards the B side with what he has got. And he is gonna be playing for the spike here. That recon not gonna detect him, which is a good thing because they... Oh, there it is! Godchild, I don't know why he got off. He probably heard out the sound and did, but there it is. Hacker. He runs straight in. I feel like Godchild could have actually stuck the plant over there. But unfortunate circumstances equal to rounds being given away. That is the second one for the side of Orgless 5, as their opponents, Team Arrow, who did have a little bit of a force in, are yet again on an eco.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the side of Team Arrow, you know, they've got to go for this again. The forces that have been happening, like you just mentioned, even on Ascent, they are leading to these weird economic situations the teams find themselves in, that getting out of them, it is extremely difficult. As right now, yeah, the side of Orgless 5, they'll have the Spectres on board, they have good guns, but against upgraded pistols, can Arrow with these upgrade pistols do something? I mean, Gothchild is speaking. HZ gets one kill. That is the opening. But with the spike being dropped in no man's land, that is very unfortunate for the side of Team Arrow. Orgless 5 have so much info right now, and they can just play on the basis of that. They don't even have to peek too much. They know that with the spike in their hands, this round should be in their hands as well. But Hacker, he gets a little too over-eager.
Wimp, who is playing on the chamber, very used to playing Killjoy on this map back when he was in EXO. He's holding down a good angle, and he is a very aggressive sentinel, being chamber himself. Takes one, runs away, and that's all he needs. With that, the spike still in the hands of the defenders. They have a good control over this round, and Wimp with the 4th possibly coming in as HCIC is gonna inevitably peak and inevitably die. That is gonna be the 3rd, and that is gonna be Orgless 5 starting off the map yet again with dominance as they did in the first map. No difference whatsoever. The only one being that it is 3-0, not 3-1 anymore.
I mean, yeah, more trouble lies ahead for the side of Team Arrow. They really are in a terrible position right now. Quite unfortunate they are not able to get these rounds on board, but hopefully with this 5 rifle situation on board, you know, they've got full armor, they've got vandals, they've got phantoms. Meanwhile, the side of Orgless 5, they're still looking a bit on the cheaper side of the economy, with a couple of bulldogs here and there, a sheriff also being spotted on Hacker. This can allow a small window of opportunity. 1 round for the side of Team Arrow to take the win as Wimp. He uses his ability.
I love it. I love it.
Meanwhile, there's the slow from Chamber, and Shane, he pushes through slightly towards Hookah. There are gunfights taking place on all corners of the map. A showers B Hookah, and it's going to be Hacker. Loses a huge chunk of his HP. However, he gets the kill in return. Now HD as well peeking the angle. 6 bullets in that Vandal. Still good for 1 kill. They are reinforcements. Sai has got to fall back because the pressure is mounting on. He is on the bomb side, and he gets 1. He falls back even more. Godchild on 13 HP. Team Arrow, they've got to go on A.
Well, they have the place to go, and Protagonist will cover up for his teammate. MSK gets another, and that's now on to Hacker to try and win this. The ultimate goes in a 3v2. Wimp is going to be stunned and concussed as Godchild, holding the back lines, gets a perfect kill onto his opponent, Hacker. That's going to be a 1 versus 3 where Wimp with full HP is very, very much capable of doing this, but is not going to be allowed to. MSK will take him down. The bullet of the Vandal is much more powerful than the bullet of the Spectre, and that is the first round for side of Team Arrow.
Exactly. Great stuff right there. Like I said, this provided them a small opportunity because of the gun differential, and they absolutely capitalized on the basis of that. It is quite difficult to get kills and get rounds more specifically on attack on the map of Bind, especially if you're against a defense which have, good defensive properties. I mean, Orgless 5, the composition they're running. Chamber, yeah, without slow, I think that is the main thing that helps him stay on the bomb side, and of course he's got his signature ability as well that allows him to fall back and to just teleport whenever he wants to. That is all well and good, and then you've got the Astra to complement that as well with something like a Gravity Well or like even a Nova. So that does slow down your attack considerably, but if you've got good utility, you can still execute, as HZ will be looking to execute right now with the showstopper. He goes through. Sai also has the showstopper himself. HZ goes down without getting a kill. Sai tags MSK a bit. He's checking the corner, and he gets the headshot. Orgless 5, they have a man they have a man advantage. 5 versus 3, make that 4 versus 3. Protagonist gets an easy kill without any trade whatsoever, and Orgless 5, they have to be more careful with how they want to go for this retake.
Oh, Shane in a very good position to at least find 2 kills. He will find 1, and Protagonist finds 2. The only man left now is Wimp, and he has to retreat away. He's got the tour de force, he's got a Spectre, but he's got no more life to work with. It's going to be another round for Team Arrow, and this is already a better first half than the previous game.
Absolutely. I mean, Team Arrow, they are looking confident in the gunfights they're taking. I'm not really sure if it's because of the desperation that they're in, knowing that this is do or die for them, knowing that if they lose Bind, everything is gone, or if it is because of the confidence they have playing on their own map choice. Whatever it is, it's working. That's all that matters. It is working for the side of Team Arrow, and at the end of the day, if it works, it works. There's no need to fix it. And they will be continuing on this path. Now, the only question is, how much are these teams capable of? I know, Universe, you were talking about, at the end of the first half, what the score should be. 7 5s, 8 4s. And I think something similar is bound to happen here as well. As we see, paint shells have been traded off. HP has been traded off from a couple of the members. And Orgless 5, in this bit of a cheaper buy that they have, they need to look for a couple of cheeky kills to allow them to win this round. Wimp is on the flank as the majority of the members of Arrow push in towards the B bomb site.
Oh, Shane will find a trade on the other side of the map as HCS will double up on it. Side, good boom bot, and Blackhawk will immediately take him down. Pushed up towards the defensive side spawn. The plan will go down in this 2v3. While all the side of Orgless 5 are trying to do is cause economic damage, which they have in heavy numbers. There's a stun. Blackhawk and Wimp, a deadly duo to face off against, but both of them are low in HP, and that's going to be the advantage for the side of Arrow as they equalize the scorecards, and it is going to be 3-3.
Absolutely. I mean, as of now, Team Arrow, they're looking very confident with these B takes, and Orgless 5 have got to realize that the early positions that they play, they just don't waste enough time for reinforcements to happen. Even in this round, we spotted that. I mean, Sai was still in the bomb side with the boom bot. He delayed it enough so that Blackhawk got the 1 kill onto Reyna. But apart from that, especially, someone like God Vexy, he just plays up close and personal towards Hookah, and that's not enough time wasted. I think Orgless 5, if they know that a threat is imminent, if they know, for example, it's going to be an A take, use all your utility to delay the attackers as much as possible, allow for the other defenders to peek through, rotate over to the bomb side, and then you can go for the retake. As right now as well, we have 3 members of the defense on the A bomb side, full on execute right now. HZ from behind the scenes, he tried his best, but he was not successful. The same cannot be said for Shane as he gets a double. And now Blackhawk playing from showers. I mean, okay, that is another kill. Not only has he dropped the spike, but alongside that, 2 more kills to his name means that Orgless 5 have the man advantage.
Yep, and with that, they know that it's a very dangerous area to be in. The A side, Shane runs away. Gonna be slowed for a bit thanks to the utility that Wimp had dropped down. Gravity Well coming in on top of Tube over here. As Shane is gonna allow Corvexy to run past him. A 3 kill on 2 players. Wimp is gonna clean up. It doesn't matter what Shane's got done in this round all by himself. In the end, if there's even a single player on the opponent team, you've lost, and that's exactly what's happened. Orgless fire with the 4th as they hit back, and this is a lot more better from the side of Team Arrow than what we saw on Ascent. Now they're giving in their full best. Now they're trying to show that they've got strategy set in. But even then, there are a couple of nooks and corners. Now we can see CCV that's just being exploited by one person like Blackhawk in that just a previous round. One man on showers was not cared about at all. He took down the spike planter. He took down another player coming in from showers as well. And that itself was the end of the round because they teleported and that was it.
Exactly. I mean, Team Arrow, they've got to get these minor details down. Like, information has got to play a key factor. And with only a Sova, information can be a bit difficult to come by. As Vexy, his location is known Sido. With a Bulldog, he gets 1 kill. Now Vexy, unfortunately, there's no way for him to heal himself. And there's no way for these Team Arrow members to be resurrected. The Seekers go through. They get even more info about the whereabouts of these attackers. And Orgless 5, they know it is supposed to be a B-take. But wait a minute. Look at Protagonist.
It's going to be very important. That Seeker's going to give away his position. Now Blackhawk should realize that there's a player around him, but he's got no idea that one's already crept up. And with that, the A side is going to be opened up for business. Godchild taps away another, and suddenly a round that should have been the side of Orgless 5's to take has been completely torn out by Protagonist's 1 kill. And now he's crept up behind Wimp as well.
Oh no.
There's nothing that the side of Orgless 5 can do in this round. Protagonist, perfectly positioned, takes out God Vexy, and now it's all onto Wimp. 1 versus 2. Looking for more. He will get pulled, but he's still okay. That recon not gonna touch him. Neither a shock dart, but the bullets of the Vandal from Godchild will. It's gonna be an immediate response. I love this to and fro boxing match between these two. And now we've got a match on our hands.
We absolutely do. I mean, that play from Protagonist right there, the look, the patience the man would have had seeing his teammates die on every corner of the map, but not giving up on your mission to eliminate that one member, that one anchor on the A bomb side, which he did, getting rid of Blackhawk. And then another kill from Shane, and it just led to this domino effect that Orgless 5 had no clue what was going on. You know, with everyone dying, they were like, oh, what do we do right now? As even, yeah, the economy isn't doing good. Here's the tour de force from Wim. Allows him to get 1 kill. He almost got the second, gets tagged from the boombot, taking the same angle. He goes away from the astral divide, sees the raise yet again on the other side, but gets the kill onto HCIs. Spike is going down. Only a single more bullet remains in this tour de force. He picks up the Vandal. Hacker in the meanwhile, from a shot, he gets 1 kill. It's all down to Wimp. 6 bullets, 2 opponents. He knows about this location. Yeah, he knew MSK was there. Protagonist from behind. Again, it is a game of cat and mouse. Wimp, he is not at all aware that there's someone coming in from showers. He doesn't dare check that corner as of now. The spike still there. Wimp has got to check that. And it's going to be Protagonist yet again being the MVP of the round, allowing his team another win.
Oh boy. Protagonist, thanks to him, for the first time in this entire series, the side of Team Arrow have taken the lead after that first pistol round that they won on Ascent. That was literally it. That was the only lead that they had, just broken down next to 11-1. And now in a 4 and 5 score line. This is looking much better from them, and this double duelist setup starting off on attack is working out. Wimp trying to give a little bit of an aggressive defensive setup over here. That trap is gonna work, but it's gonna be immediately taken out as well. Got Vexy looking for one, gets support. Baby Sai gets another. HC Ascent got Child though. They will trade back, but they're eating a lot of damage as well. They're surrounded by players. 3 versus 3. Hacker gets another. Perfect gap to the smoke allows him. And there's Hacker finding Gotchel completely on the basis of timing. And Protagonist in a 1v2 maybe wants to teleport away, and he will. This is not going to be heard right now though. And they've got no clue. They will have no clue until he goes and plants the spike on A. And this is a good chance for him to win out another round for his team. A 1v2. Protagonist, I've spoken about him before. He's got the potential to do it. And Wimp is very low on HP as well. He's taking aggressive positioning. This is a problem. Wimp needs to be careful. And there it is.
Oh no. I mean, Orgless 5, they knew Wimp was low on HP, but they still chose to split up.
Yeah,
maybe to get information, but they've just isolated gunfights here. And Blackhawk, he is not aware of the position. But as I say that, he is extremely aware of his crosshair placement. As a matter of fact, with 20 HP remaining, it's going to be another Astra being the MVP for their team, allowing them to win the round. But hint, it's not Protagonist. It almost was Protagonist getting a hat trick, being the MVP 3 rounds consecutively. But no, it won't be the case. Blackhawk puts an end to it, and he dissipates all hopes of Team Arrow, extending their lead even further. Orgless 5 are not out of this, and we can just imagine what exactly is going to happen in the second half once the side swap happens. Because I think for the first half, it's a clear picture. I see a 6-6. This round should go in the way of Orgless 5 because Arrow are going to be going for that eco. For that very reason, the defenders should pick up an easy win. But I think the next round is going to go the favor of the attackers as well. So in my eyes, it's going to be equal. But the side swap has so many intricacies in it that I cannot wait for round number 13.
Well, both Gottschalk and his teammate haven't spotted out, and look at Wimp's positioning. Perfectly good for one. Looking for a second. Not going to get it, but he's got a teammate to trade off. Got Vexy. He finds Protagonist, who turns away for a second, expecting a flash to come in. And the spike, of course, is in the hands of the defenders. 2 versus 4. Both the players in Hookah have ultimates to work with. This is not the round to utilize them. HC Ice takes a bit of damage from the grenade as Sai almost taken down with that mispositioned MSK, but he will be able to stabilize and find both of them. 6-5, and this is the final round of the first half. This is the best scenario, or at least one of the good scenarios that the side of Team Arrow would have wanted, right? Because if they would have given away another half like they did in the first map, we could have just said bye-bye. But this is exactly what I said should have come in for them. Either a 7-5 or an 8-4.
Exactly.
But a 6-6 would be perfect, right?
Yeah.
But there is one thing though. They have no sentinel to work with on the defense, which means there's going to be no site anchor per se who will have qualities that will stop the attack from coming in or at least slow them down a bit. Maybe the breach can do it.
That is what I'm thinking. Like, they have to makeshift something out of here. You know, the breach, you know, like a lot has gotta happen right now, which should allow the members of Team Arrow to essentially help them secure those defensive rounds, because it is going to be difficult. It was the one thing we spotted on Ascent as well, which was quite difficult. It was the fact that, you know, the members of Orgless 5, they quite literally walked into the bomb site, and Team Arrow could not always stop them. So we need to see an end put to that. We need to see the side of Team Arrow trying something, albeit in this case it's even a bit more difficult without the sentinel, without the chamber being there, but something or the other has to happen. We have seen them take the timeout is done, they talked, everyone talked, you know, the coach was there for the side of Team Arrow as well, and now we can start off with the final round of the first half. Oh my god.
Battle of the Jets, and somehow ATI survived with 7 HP. Yes, that is unfortunate, but Blackhawk is going to be able to finish off that kill. He is going to be concussed, earthquaked upon, and destroyed as well maybe. And MSK confirms that kill. Got Vexy, blinds one, gets away from the wall, but is going to go down to MSK yet again. That's a 1v4 that Hacker did not expect himself to be in. Sai went a little too aggressive for his own good. It did bear some fruit, but it was just 143 HP of Edgy Ice. And with that, the round right there was already settled, and there is a 6-6 scoreline as Godchild kills his own team.
I was just
Switching
yeah,
sides.
just South Asian Valorant
That's
things.
not nice.
No, that's just South Asian Valorant. What can we say? There's I mean, happens more in my rank than spike rushes, but regardless. You know what I hate? Every single time those raise. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I always insta-lock raise. Yeah, because every single time you go to defuse the spike, the raise purposefully throws her pain shells. And this happens most with raises. I don't see this with any other agent. Maybe the neon throws her concussions at times. Those people can be annoying as well. But those down raises with their pain shells, very annoying. But anyways, that's why I always insta-lock raise. Only in Spike Rush, by the way, if you find me in your ranked matches, I won't do that. I am a good teammate, yes.
Well, I'm just gonna let CCV get away with that because he's a good guy and he's trying his level best. So let's see how much better can these people do though. As Hacker is gonna scout out the A side for his teammates. MSK with the fault line slows down the push for a bit as slowly creeping into the A side. He can teleport away if need be, and he's trying to keep a safe distance between every single angle that he can keep his eyes on. He's got support, and Godchild has been spotted out on the other side. There's a teleport coming in from the attackers. They're moving towards the P side, which by the way has been completely left unattended.
I mean, yeah.
Wow, why would you just leave it? Retakes for sure, but you don't have a sentinel, so a retake is going to be very difficult.
This is the one person that can help a bit. Shane on the flank. He needs to get 2, maybe 3 kills because the entirety of his opposition, of his team is coming in from, defender spawn. And again, their opposition know about this. Orgless 5 are very much aware. Shane has got to do something right now. Otherwise, Orgless 5 have so much control. The spike is going to be half stock. O5 have been pushed off. Hacker goes into the bomb side. And the spike, well, it won't be diffused any further because MSK falls down. It was God Vexy. It was Sai right there towards elbow getting kills. It was a team ace as a matter of fact. And even though kind of like that one pistol round on Ascent where all the members of Orgless 5 were just pushed off into the corner, in this case, they broke through. And thanks to Hacker with that perfect positioning and the... the right click of the classic, it just allowed every single one of the attackers to focus on other factors because I'm very sure that in the comms of Orgless 5, Hacker would have been like, guys, I got the person diffusing the spike. I know we got the audio cue. I will kill that person, focus on everyone else. And that's exactly what the other members did.
Okay, now an interesting position for protagonist who has not been spotted. Now he will go for side. Oh, boy. The shorty, very unpredictable as HCI kills his own teammate in the return, which they did not expect. Such an unnatural exchange of utilities over there is gonna keep a little bit of the trade alive. God Vexy gets another. And for now, the side of Orgless 5 are going to be happy with the trade that HCI gave them. MSK, not going to be able to connect any shots, is going to go down as Wimp will secure the A side for himself. And the last player standing, Godchild, is an elbow.
I mean, he's got that Sheriff, but with 22 HP, he's got the Recon Bolt as well. He can use that. That's a signature ability. I don't recommend using the Owl Drone. Can't really do much. The Astra Star right on him. The gravity will affecting him as well. That's going to be a peek from Blackhawk, and that's going to be the round secured. God Vexy was there behind him. So Orgless 5, yeah, they knew that the Sova was right there. Again, simple round, done and dusted. It was the anti-eco. Now we can go into better weaponry for both of the teams. Orgless 5, they won't be investing much. They'd like to keep their credits saved up for the upcoming round. But Team Arrow, they're making every single bit of investment they can. Their entire team now only has 100 credits in the bank. Other than that, everything has been spent. This is a round that Team Arrow have to win one way or another. The good thing is there are no ultimates on board. So using your utility, your signature primary, secondary utility, and obviously based on your guns, are the teams going to win this round? That is good, considering the fact that Arrow have the better weaponry. But still, Orgless 5 can make something out of this round considering how they've been playing.
Jumping in a little bit reckless. He's got no trade. MSK is going to be able to take down 2. Wimp and God Vexy will get back to themselves though. Oh, it's a 3v3. That's very much possible for either team here. Shane has an idea that somebody could be on the left side of the map over here, but he's been slowed down thanks to the bite that's been given away by God Vexy's Tasmanian Devil. And God Vexy's gonna double up on a kill as well. There's the ultimate coming in. God Vexy with the third. And Shane is left to do it all alone. With 12 HP to his name, God Vexy knows he does not need to take a fight anymore and just wait for his opponent to come to him. Both the initiators have got enough time to work with. There's the recon, but there's God Vexy going down. It doesn't matter. Hackers found him. No, he hasn't. The defuse could come in, but does he have enough time? That distance that he just jumped upon might have just cost him the round, has it? Oh my god. 0.86 seconds to make the difference. That's how close they were. If Haka would have just run away from there instead of taking the fight, Orgless would have won it.
Exactly, he didn't even need to run away safely. Just like go to A shot, go near the teleporter. Anything could have happened. But we know why Hacker went for that. You know, he saw the reveal come through. He was confident that, you know, the bullets weren't there in the magazine as well for Reina. But yeah, it just didn't lead to a good outcome. And nonetheless, so Team Arrow, they are not out of this, but they lost 4 of their rifles, and that's a big factor right now. You know, we have the Bulldog on Gothchild, and it means that Orgless 5, they have the better weaponry. They've got the Vandals and the Phantoms. They've got to use that. Now it's the side of Orgless 5 who need this round to go in their favor, and it may just, if they can eliminate this huge chunk of defense, this triangle that's been formed in the B bomb site right now with Astra, Sova, and Reina. Either information needs to go through, which it does. The pain shields tag Shane a bit. You know, there's the concussion with the Nova as well, but Shane is still holding the angle. He dies without a kill. Gothchild as well. And all 3 members, like I was saying, this bunch of Team Arrow, this trio could not do anything against the attack that was there from Orgless 5. Great execution, and this post plant is only better.
Sai going for the hunt. And he's gonna turn. Okay, MSK. That's just unfortunate. That is just unfortunate. Clear-cut open kill to Sai would have come in an exit frag, but it is not gonna be the case. A flawless coming in for the team of Orgless 5, and they're looking comfortable. They're looking strong. They're not afraid of taking fights, and their executes are perfect. And this might just be the proper time for the side of Arrow to call the timeout that they have already. Godspeed would want to give as many inputs as he can about the last couple of rounds that he's seen to try and change their play for a little bit. And what's going wrong, CCV? Where do you think that they're lacking that bit of, you know, defensive quality? I get that no Sentinel being there is one thing, but do you think always playing on the retake is actually a good thing for them? Because given that the Sentinel is not there, they don't really have defensive qualities, and I give that kind of forces them to play on the retake. But do you think that they need to be a little bit more aggressive and go up on the front foot on one side so that they can show Orgless 5 that they cannot take the side on their own, you know, rights?
They tried something like that in that pistol round, but then what happened was the side of Orgless 5, they found the B bomb side entirely empty. So it's a matter of rotations. On a map such as Bind, rotations can happen a lot. There is no mid, yes, but you have the teleporters. You have to use them to the best of your advantage. So Orgless 5, they are absolutely playing only on the basis of where they can get information and how they can play on the basis of that. As for Team Arrow, let's see how aggressive they are willing to get early on. Late round aggression is fine, but yeah, like you said in the previous round, that trio stayed in the B bomb side, and because of that, they were just overwhelmed by 5 attackers pushing from Hookah and B long Octagon as well. There was nothing that happened. Now it's 4 members of Team Arrow, and this time they will be playing aggressively, but for a different reason. It is because it's an eco round. It is because they have absolutely no weaponry whatsoever. They're gonna be gunned down. That is the end of that. MSK will be good for 1 kill. But that's it. Gothchild all alone with the shorty. He can get the kill on the Sai. That reload just allows Sai to get the final frag.
Did you notice how well Orgless 5 actually read that? They did not push it towards B long.
Exactly.
They did not push it because they knew that B long, somehow they just have this read on their opponents, thinking that, okay, you know what, they're probably going to be pushing in somewhere. And incidentally, they were waiting towards B long, and they got the kills towards B long, which was a good strat if it was, you know, maybe 2 or 3 players over, 1 or 2 players over there. But Orgless 5 were completely ready, and they've outplayed the side of Team Arrow in the last 3 to 4 rounds.
Revealing area.
True, true.
Well, for
Yeah.
now, things are a little bit of a stalemate. The utilities are being dished out by the attackers towards the B side. I'm not quite sure if they want to go for this hacker. He's gonna tag one. Shane, no, actually, he's not been tagged. He's gonna be able to get away. But they do know that at least 2 players are here. That's Shane and MSK or Fexi. Scouting out the entire side. Gonna be able to go almost towards the spawn of the defenders. And with that, Orgless 5 should be rotating away because they should know that there's 3 players here at least. But they're still dishing out so much utility. I'm getting a little worried because they might not have anything left for their executes, will they?
They have to play on the basis of their gun power right now, and getting those kills. Hacker gets one, but at the cost of only having 33 HP, doesn't have his life anymore. Orgless 5 are down a man. They have that one astral divide, but they're still looking for an avenue to execute on. Wimp is going to be pushing through, peeking a shot, and it's going to be Protagonist getting the kill. Now they have their work cut out. They have to go onto the B bomb side. Sai will be good for one. MSK, he goes through with his signature ability, but Sai with another kill. Oh, this is big. Team Arrow. HZ also falling to the pain shells means that on the basis of this one raise, the round has just, well, in my eyes, been won by Orgless 5. They've got their ultimates. Sai still holding the angle. Protagonist gets tagged even further, gets dashed away, and that's going to be a 4K, allowing the members of Orgless 5 to get, I mean, what a round that was to get for them.
Yeah, it was a good round from the side. Orgless 5. And it almost looks like the game's over here. They're steamrolling across and they're doing absolutely everything that they can to not let the side of Team Arrow even make a step forward in the right direction. And this is another eco, which means match point is almost inevitable, isn't it, CCV?
Absolutely. I mean, match point can happen, probably may just happen, like you said, because of the difference in the guns right here. But Vim playing from behind. Oh, he teleports away, but that's the wrong corner. And he still gets a kill. Not only that, but that's a total of 3 kills from Wimp in that one corner where everyone knew about him. And then MSK falls at the final kill with only a single casualty universe. The members of Orgless 5 get another round win.
Well, CCV, I'm gonna have to ask you the age-old question. Do you think it's all over, my friend? Because it kind of looks like it over here. With the 12-7 scoreline coming in and a desperate buy for both, for at least one team, not the other. They've got Vandals across the board. They've got one player with no armor, that's MSK. And this is do or die for the team from Pakistan.
They have to. As to the side of Orgless 5, well, they've got their ultimates as well. There goes the showstopper. The Hunter Spirit goes through. There's the Astral Divide. And already we are seeing those ults pay off. And now the Seekers. Shane, he allows one kill right there. But he gets straight out instantly. Hacker still knows about MSK. Another brilliant headshot. Team Arrow have 2 members surviving. The shock dart goes through. The attackers can rotate whenever they want. As a matter of fact, they will. But Wimp's right here.
It's over.
Look at that load play. And now what does Protagonist do in this situation? He knows there's a Sova on A. He's gonna go onto the A-bomb side. Is he gonna hear the audio cues on B? Or will he stay in spawn? And as soon as he hears the spike going down, he'll go there. Well, he's moving towards A. That is a bit difficult. He's not going back. The spike is gonna go down. And I think alongside it, Universe, Team Arrow's chances of winning this BO3 go down as well.
Well, I don't think that they're going to be winning this one, man. There's going to be no points taken away from this. The teleport from Wimp has come in as well. Now it's a full-fledged 1v3. He's got 4 stars to play with, but do the stars of his destiny work for him? For once they do. He's got 2 more to go, but he's got only 11 HP, and that's been taken away from him as well. Orgless 5 with a dominating 2-0 victory. Pull a victory that is very convincing. And there's Blackhawk's mother, I presume, congratulating him, hopefully.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I think she can see the victory screen as well. But right now, I think all the fans of Orgless 5 will be congratulating them, and the players will be congratulating each other for this win. Ascent, was quite well, and here on Bind, it was just something else. Team Arrow, what a fight they fought. They absolutely have improved, but in this case, unfortunately, it just wasn't enough, like they got so many rounds, it just wasn't enough to allow them to get that one map, what we were talking about earlier, to just edge out essentially and take the win.
Yeah, there was a lot of, up and down situations coming in for the side of Orgless. Give me Team Arrow, as CCV's cameras just did. Let's go over to the match highlights and find out what exactly was the storyline across the entire map of Bind, because like we said earlier as well, this is a map that Orgless 5 are just as comfortable with as a side of Team Arrow. They might have chosen it, but Orgless 5 came, took it over, they made it their home. And there's nothing more, there's no two ways about it. The first half was very good on the attack especially, and that was exactly what we told as well. They had the double duelist composition, which worked pretty well for them, but the minute they came onto the defense, no Sentinel, was a very, very difficult, situation to be in, especially given that even, we had a meta where there was a double controller, right? Where we had Viper and the Brimstone being played usually. At least the Viper would act as a pseudo Sentinel at times. But now even that the Viper is not being chosen, and, that could have been an option that they could have gone for the side of Team Arrow. They literally had no, agents that could actually stop an attack from coming in. Breach with one fault line, and maybe that, aftershock, that's it. Nothing else.
Yeah,
Even
again, exactly.
Astra.
They had the utility, they just couldn't use it like a true Sentinel. Even the Reyna had the Leer, the Blind was there. There was so much that could have, in theory, helped the members of Team Arrow, but just practically it wasn't viable. Either it didn't work out, or the rotations were a little too far-fetched. No matter what the situation was, yeah, there were times where having no Sentinel really hurt them. The first half though, great performances. The kills, the attacks, executions, post plans were working in the favor of Team Arrow, and there was a slight point where they could have gotten the half in their favor as well. This 1 versus 2 that protagonist just isolated the gunfights in, and could have won that had it not been for Blackhawk. But yeah, this round could have decided a lot of things. Had, protagonist won there, maybe we would have seen a 7-5 favoring the side of Team Arrow. A lot could have happened, but what's done is done. The second half started, Orgless 5 from that point forward started building and building their lead. Shame, this was one of his standout moments, playing similar roles on the map of Ascent as well. He had great performances, he had those skills as well, but again, as a whole team effort, Team Arrow just lagged slightly behind in terms of kills in the second half. In the first half, they were on par with Orgless 5, but after that, they started messing up a bit.
Yeah, that is true. I think that, you can definitely see the non-defensive qualities completely hindered them on the defensive side. And that's what I was afraid of as well. I thought that they would be able to keep up with it, right? But the problem was that they just had nobody to stop these attacks. And because of that, they were forced to play on retakes. And retakes being one thing, you don't really have utility either. Because once, you have your Sova gone, you actually have no information whatsoever. But on the opponent side, they've got a Chamber, they've got a Sky, both can play on utility, and they've got a Sova as well. They've got 3 informational characters.
Yeah.
Because the Chamber's traps work on the backstab, the Sova and the Sky together work on the Sky with the flashes and the recons, and overall, it's just brilliant.
Exactly, and that just allowed so many kills to happen. I mean, Wimp, Sai, and Hacker, 3 members having 20 kills each. I mean, I have to say that, like, 3 members, the majority of the team having, like, kills this much, just consistent performances, overall great stuff. Even Blackhawk and Vexy, sure, they do not have as many kills as their teammates, but that doesn't matter. Like you were just mentioning, Universe, their utility usage was impeccable. Meanwhile, on the side of Team Arrow, protagonist popped off absolutely. I mean, there were so many clutch plays. MSK, really good to see that he was on, the top steps, and towards the high end of the table, especially considering that in Ascent he didn't have the best of performances. But still, overall, it just wasn't the best. Maybe it was because HZ, being the one of the other duelists, being the dive duelist, couldn't get a lot. It just meant that Orgless 5 end up winning everything.
Yeah. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much the end and the story completed over here between these two teams, which has been a very, very dominant side of Orgless 5 showcasing their skills today. 13-5 and 13-7 score lines that are going to be haunting Team Arrow further on in this tournament, just because of the fact that once we look at the group standings, which are going to be coming up in just about a couple of seconds, you're going to see what we're talking about. Group standings are, well, for Team Arrow, not that great, but for the side of Orgless 5, they're going up further and further. They are second on the table, whereas Arrow are dead last year, CCV. This is concerning because having just 3 games left, I don't know if they can actually make it to that 4th place.
It is highly unlikely. I mean, they need to win a lot, but even then, even if they win 2-0, like mathematically, like it's going to be a very close call. And now Team Arrow are in this situation where they have to hope that their opponents, such as Exili, such as Salt, they do not win those maps, they do not get those points. It's a very iffy situation right now. As for Orgless 5, yes, they have played a lot more. They have played a lot more of their matches. That's why they're on the second. But I think Enigma, with how they're looking, and God Particles as well, I think those two teams will be on the top 2. But still, that doesn't mean Orgless 5 are not going into the playoffs. As it stands right now, they are solid contenders. And I think with the next best of 3, whenever it happens from the side of Orgless 5, we can consider them to almost get in the playoffs sooner rather than later, with them almost finishing their entire group stage journey pretty soon.
That is true. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of today's matchup. We've got Orgless 5 coming ahead as a victorious over here, and they're going to be going up further in the brackets. They're going to be going up further on the table as well. Hope you enjoyed what you had to see today in terms of Valorant action, because everything that we saw today was just brilliant. We hope that you are going to be going ahead and checking out the description down below and getting yourself some upgrades from not just Intel Crucial, but some apparel from 656 as well. This is the Tec Gauntlet Season 4, powered by Crucial, gaming partner Intel, and apparel partner 656. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, Intel delivers the best gaming experience. So delivering best overall gaming experience, follow the hashtag #GameWithIntel. We will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye, good evening, and have a happy gaming day.
From the legends of memory and storage, Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products, precision engineered for speed and stability. Crucial Ballistics.
Hey guys, this is Herman and you're watching Streamer Reviews, where gaming streamers review the best new gaming laptops. All gamers want is a system that meets their need and can run their favorite games at high FPS. The MSI's GF63 Thin is a great laptop for this. The GF63 comes with an incredibly powerful 10th Gen Intel Core i5 processor. It's a hexacore processor which lets you run more tasks at once and can boost up to 4.5 GHz of turbo in order to say bye-bye to both bottlenecks and lag, ensuring that low FPS will never affect your gaming experience. The Core i5 is also well supported by the GF63's GPU. Variants with the NVIDIA 1650 and RTX 1350 are both available. A solid RAM helps this Intel Core i5 processor access data at rapid speeds, allowing it to work efficiently and deliver the high FPS that you desire. The GF63 comes with up to 16 GB of DDR4 RAM, which is more than enough to meet your gaming needs. Being able to play some of your favorite online games at high FPS depends on seamless connectivity. Thankfully, the GF63 comes prepared with Intel Wi-Fi 6, which lets you download 3 times faster and reduces lag up to 75%. It's time to experience the peak performance with the Intel-powered MSI GF63 Thin. Get yours now, and do check out MSI's complete range of gaming laptops powered by Intel Core i5 and i7 processors.
Bye.